the stand. I carry that crest in my hand, rain on my shoulders, still I stand. Tell me who wears it like we can. Mud on the boots, heart of gold. Those stories living in the cold. Every name that the walls still hold. I was born for this, I was told. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. When the pressure comes down hard, we don't flinch, we play our part. Every scar on the back says more than 1,000 songs before. From the first whistle to the last, we remember where we came from fast. No throne, no crown, no borrowed fame, just a city calling out that name. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. Let the whole ground shake, let the whole world know. We don't chase a moment, we are the home. Hands up high, voice up loud. Same old pride, same crowd. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. Yeah. Ooh. Blue till the end, blue till the end. Loyalty stays even through the storm. From the bridge to the stand, I carry that crest in my hand, rain on my shoulders, still I stand. Tell me who wears it like we can. Mud on the boots, heart of gold. Those stories living in the cold. Every name that the walls still hold. I was born for this, I was told. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end.
From the bridge to the stand, I carry that crest in my hand. Rain on my shoulders, still I stand. Tell me who wears it like we can. Mud on the boots, heart of gold. Old stories living in the cold. Every name that the walls still hold. I was born for this, I was told. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end, blue till the end. play our part. Every scar on the back says more than 1,000 songs before. From the first whistle to the last, we remember where we came from fast. No throne, no crown, no borrowed fame, just a city calling out that name. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold, we were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. Let the whole ground shake, let the whole
And yes, it will be Blue to the Fat Lady Sing, and we will rise again. But more importantly, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome for another edition of the Blue Morning Show. We have quite a lot lined up to talk about. And as the show progresses, if we exhaust the item we have lined up, we will go news hunting on my bro's timeline, Vince, of course, because I trust him quite a lot. But today we will talk about Enzo Fernández. We'll have a good conversation, try to make sense and trying to figure out whether he ends up staying or leaving. We'll talk about Chelsea's reported interest in Adam Wharton, Alex Scott. We'll talk about Ben Welber, the Chile, Axel, the CC, and Chelsea's interest in the Monaco, I think, defender. I don't know that player, and I'm not going to throw information at you from my wazoo. But more importantly, I do hope you're all doing well. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the conversation once again. And without wasting much of your time, I'm going to say hello to those of you in the chat, and we will get started without wasting your time. Yep, follow me and let's get into the show. 1 second here. The comments, where are they? Looks like I'm going to have a difficult one today. Okay, there you go. I thought maybe that I couldn't see the comments here. All right, the first one. All right, big up TJ Tapia 93, big up coach and panel. To be honest, I think Enzo Fernández is pushing to leave. Like Blueco said, 120 million or no deal. Maresca get you, yep. Long lost son. He likes him if he wants him pay up, and I like the fact that we have a cut-off date. If it gets to that particular date, if they haven't paid up, it's bye, Felicia. We're not going to be doing business because maybe it'll be too late at the time to find a good replacement. So if they want him, they better move for him right now. Hello to you too, Samkelo Christ Mizi. Nice to see you. Hello, bro. I think we must let Enzo Fernández go if he wants to leave, but with good money. Of course, you know it. Blueco, they don't sell for, and they hardly ever make an L whenever they sell players. I remember when we sold as what's his name, Kai Havertz to Arsenal. After the initial bid, people were losing their SHIT. They were saying something to the effect of just take it and run. We were like, nah, pay up or forget it. And we got nearly twice as much as their initial offer on the table. But despite the way, thank you. Nice to see you. And my hope is always we get more than just one panelist, and we get 2 or more panelists join me so you can get diversified opinion and not listen to I alone waffle. It's important that we debate, fight if you want to call it that, and come to a sensible conclusion, or maybe give you enough information to enable you come to a sensible conclusion on your own. Reason for yourself. Yeah, and do that. Big up to you too, Abe. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Abe or Abby? I'm not sure how to pronounce your name correctly, but you know I do mean well. Why will Enzo want to leave? This is the first season he now has opportunity to win the Premier League. Maybe his loyalty lies elsewhere.
You don't know. But let's see what happens. I think for now, I'd say I went from 80 to 50, 50, 80. I went to from 80% to 20%, leaning towards him leaving, to now 50, 50. Why? Because yeah, clearly Manchester City are seriously interested. All right. Enzo will remain for at least one more season. I'd love to see that happen. He's a player I love. I've been one of his biggest defenders until he twacked and pole danced for Real Madrid. But I love him so much. Would want him to stay. And if he stays, if we win the league, chances are he stays beyond the season, because winning changes everything. So without wasting much of your time, I'm going to go to the presentation window so we can start discussing the items we have lined up. So once again, follow me and let's get into the show. All right, of course, first thing I like to do to show off my creation, the FIFA Club World Cup badge, because we're still world champions and that will be for another 3 years plus. Yeah, embed the Chelsea crest in the middle there. I have to show off there. I will keep talking about it until, yeah, it is until it clocks 4 years, and then yeah, another even after that, until another club becomes Club World Cup champion. Then yeah, maybe I'll pipe down a bit, but right now I'm gonna keep screaming it. I'm gonna keep showing it off because yeah, we deserve all the credit. But I don't want to get into who would beat on our way to winning it, because we won it in style when nobody gave it a chance. But that's by the way. Once again, follow me. Let's start addressing the items we have lined up here. Okay, the first one, the City to Palace update. According to a report from Santi JFM, that's the guy in question. Yep, that's his real name. Last name is Aona. I'm sure definitely I'm butchering his last name. Chelsea are demanding 5 million euros for a dry loan for Axel de Sassi. However, this is a sum deemed excessive by Crystal Palace. I think they've sensed it. We're basically desperate to move him on one way or the other, and they are making the most of the situation, because I think he's a good defender. It's just that when we were on the verge of confirming Enzo Maresca as our manager, we here on Chelsea Perspective knew at the time that yeah, he was definitely in trouble. As much as he comes across as good on the ball, but he'd have to have tons of space to take his time and decide what to do with the ball. But under the slightest of pressure, he usually makes primary school level mistakes. We knew at the time that yeah, he's in trouble. But if we had a manager like Mourinho, I think he'd get the best out of him. Probably will like him a lot, because he has that, what Nigerians will call ginger, that aggression, to use a more familiar language to those of us who are Nigerians. So, but right now, because of his situation, been out of the squad for nearly 2 years now, Palace definitely they sense that yeah, we're kind of desperate to get rid of him, and they're making the most of it, and I don't blame him. Godwin Agio says, my opinion is that if Enzo wants to leave, Chelsea should allow him to leave with the right amount. Chelsea is demanding. If not, no way he still has a valid contract with the club. I mean, even if he wants to leave, the clubs that are the suitor or the club that wants to sign him, they'd have to meet our valuation of Enzo Fernández. He's a World Cup winner, Club World Cup winner, Conference League winner, Copa America winner, young player of the World Cup in 2022. And how much did Manchester City pay for Elliot Anderson? Yeah, exactly. So, but that's by the way, I'm happy to let you guys know that I have on the panel with me the captain of the community in Constantine Dante. So definitely you're guaranteed to get diversified opinion, and my favorite of it all, fights. That is debates, heated debates. I love it. I hate it when we all agree. But Dante, big up to you. Welcome to the panel. Osman. How are you doing?
Yeah, big up, coach. Not too bad. A
Big.
bit tired, so I'll see how long I last, but otherwise I'm pretty good.
Okay. Hopefully someone else joins so that when you leave, the fans, the listeners will still get diversified opinion. Our first item on the screen, you've seen that. You're looking at it, right? Access to see. Bayern paid us 15 million pounds. Is it pounds or euros? Even let's stick with euros. 50 million euros for Nicholas Jackson's loan spell at their club. Why are these guys saying that 5 million euros is too much for Axel to see? Maybe they're not desperate for a defender, but definitely, in my opinion, given his situation, he's been out of our squad for nearly 2 seasons right now. So we're desperate. I don't think we can hide it. The situation defines itself, but let's hear from you.
Yeah, look, and he had a good loan spell, obviously, at West Ham, but like we talked about yesterday, sometimes the players, they get offers, but they don't want to go to certain clubs, and that's happened to Disasi quite a bit, actually. He turned down 3 moves last summer because he didn't want to go to those clubs, and he ended up staying an extra
And
6
at the
months.
time, we heard also that he was hopeful that he could still get a chance at Chelsea, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, it's one of those situations. Yeah, he should know better by now, and he did eventually go to that West Ham loan in January. So, and he did
But
very well.
unfortunately, yeah, they are
Relegated.
They got relegated.
They still want him. There's an offer on the table, but again, the player is not accepting that offer because, yeah, obviously he doesn't want to play there. But we'll see what happens. He's desperate. We're a bit desperate. We've kind of, we bought in for that 36 million pounds, whatever it was, but that was nearly 4 years ago now. So that's come down quite a lot. So there's not too much really on the books with him, to be honest. So pretty much any sale, 15, 20 million is very good. You're going to get your money back and not lose anything on the book. So yeah, we'll see what happens. It could be a loan. Yeah, it could be a loan. 5 million is a high loan fee. It doesn't sound a lot because we loaned out Nicholas Jackson for 15, like you said, but it is a high loan fee normally. Normally it's like 2-3 million, and they'll cover the wages as well. So 5 million is a high, but that's what we're doing with our players.
I'm spoiled. Maybe with Nicholas Jackson's case, I've been spoiled to believe that, yeah, we could get a lot more.
No, we're just going how the market is. We're pushing everything up, the prices of everything, just like the market is. So, we're always kind of been ahead of that in the market, selling players, etc. So, if players really want to leave, well, they have to compromise a little bit as well. And I think Disasi is in that boat. He'll end up compromising. It might take a bit longer, but I think he'll end up compromising. And he's biding his time. We are as well. We're not really in a hurry. It doesn't really matter. So, yeah, we'll wait and see what happens. Oh, looks like Coach Hiller got offline. Yeah, look, don't be surprised. Maybe some late moves for him from maybe even Saudi Arabia or some other clubs in Premier League or even in Italy, somewhere like that, because the price will get lower and lower, I think. So yeah, we'll see what happens with him. But yeah, Vic saying there 5 million loan fee for a guy worth 20 million at best. Yeah, and it is a high loan fee because 5 million plus you got to cover his wages, of course, as well. So it's not just 5 million, then it goes up to probably like 8 million because I think he's nearly on 3 million a season. So it is a lot. Clubs don't pay that much usually for loans. Bigger clubs do that, but I don't see Crystal Palace, that type of club, to pay that for him. West Ham do want him, and they will pay probably 20 million for him, no problem. But it's Disasi not wanting to go, to West Ham in the Championship, which isn't the worst because they'll probably come up, most likely back up straight away. So, you can get a lot of bonuses, etc., with that happening as well. So, sometimes for a player, that's not a bad option where he is in his career. But obviously, I think he still believes he can play at the top level. And we saw that a little bit. West Ham, kind of his probably level. I think if he goes to Italy, I think he'll do well there as a defender. The way he defends, quite, quite aggressive, etc. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see on this. I'll see what happens with that one. Him, Badiashile as well. That's the other one. Him and Badiashile, maybe Tosin as well. So we've got a couple of defenders there, a few defenders that we might need to move on. Tosin could probably still stay unless he's promised a team really wants him, likes his style, the way he plays, box defender, and they might give him starter minutes, and that might sway him, to maybe make a move. I think for us, either way, it's fine. Either way, he stays because he was for free basically, and if he stays, he stays. He's really deep squad depth. Like I said, he's still a very good, box defender. He can do that very well on his day. So, in the right system with three at the back, and with the wing backs, but in a three in the back system, him being that central guy, that can really help a guy like that. That can cover a lot of other errors because he is a very good box defender and very good leading the line as well. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, coach. Yeah, you're muted. Yeah. That was you offline, right? I hope I didn't speak for nothing. But I can't hear you. We're still muted. I can't hear. Can you guys hear Coach or me? Can someone in the chat put Vic? Can you guys hear him? I can't hear him at all. And the system errors. Coachella is on mute. Okay, so it is you, Coachella. Yeah. Nope, we still can't hear you, Coach.
All right, you should be hearing me now.
And now, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I just switched to the other microphone, but yeah, I appreciate you for holding the fort while I was gone. All right, but Vic, thank you so much for finding the time to join the conversation. Sincerely do appreciate you. I appreciate the gold coins gift. Gold coin gift. Enough again. Even though I don't like it, but I'll take the gift and say thank you. Thank you, Vic.
Where's my gold coin? What gold coin? What's going on?
Oh my goodness. All right. A 5 million loan fee for a guy worth 20 million at best. Because yeah, he's basically worthless at this point, given the fact that I wouldn't say worthless really. He had good spell at West Ham United. They were singing him praises. It's just that they didn't survive relegation. You could argue, had they survived that relegation battle, I think we will probably get a lot more from him. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dante.
Look, they want him. They would pay 20 million for him. That's not a problem. They kind of said that, but it's him not wanting to go there because they're relegated. But like I was saying when you were away, it's not the worst option because you actually can make quite a lot of money that way because there's clauses, and if he comes back straight back up, which most likely they will, well, you get quite a lot of bonuses and you make a lot of money. So it's not the worst, but obviously he's got very high standards still. He thinks he can play for a bigger team. I'm not quite sure if that's the case. I think he needs to find that type of team that play defensive football like West Ham did, basically.
Yeah, he needs to accept, come to terms that, things aren't quite going his way at the moment. Just choose the best, or you could say the best of the offers he has on the table and get started. Otherwise, time passes by quickly. You get my point there. Before he know it, it'd be difficult to get his career back on track. Something else I want to say quickly to you. I sense I fear that may end up being the case. Do you see a situation where he rages? You can say the whole thing goes on. At some point, it becomes a similar situation like that of Raheem Sterling. It's a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, he's nowhere near as expensive as Sterling and wages, etc. So it is a possibility, but he's still got a bit of
Sterling
value.
was our top. Raheem Sterling was our top earner, right?
Correct. That's a big difference. 325K a week. That's a big difference, So, look, he's not earning that much this Sarsi, but his contract, I think he's got another year and a half, 2 years, if I remember. I can't remember. I got to double check as well his contract, but I think it's 2 years, if I remember right. Let me have a quick look.
I'm thinking even he at some point would want to exploit,
3 years, actually.
the fact
got
that
3
he
years,
has a
so-
few years. Yeah, and even he at some point, if he sees no path back to playing for the French national team, I think even he at some point, I think maybe would want to exploit that and force the club to pay him off.
They're not paying him off 3 years to go, 3.5 years to go on his contract, actually. They're not paying him off that long. That's too much. There's no way they're doing that when they can get a loan, even if it's not 5 million, if it's 2-3 million plus covering all the salary. Well, that's another 5 million off, these books. So they're not going to sell. They're not going to pay him out now. It's too much. If it was a season and a half, like I said, but nearly 3.5 seasons, no way they're paying him that off. It's still quite a lot. It's he's still up there close.
But
to
he can
100K a
make
week,
it
so-
difficult. He can make it difficult for the club.
No, he can't. He can't do anything, to be honest. The ball's in his court completely. Chelsea said, okay, you're not in our plans. Find a move alone or find a club to go, and that's his duty and his agent's duty to find that and do it. The club will still pay. They're still paying him, but he's not going to get any, he can just sit out and get his pay for the next 3 years. But he wants to play, obviously. So the ball's in his court and his agent to find that solution in the club. Obviously, our sporting directors, because we've got a few of them, they will help try to find him a club. And I remember he had 3 clubs to choose from the previous season. And, he ended up choosing West Ham. So, it's his selection as well. He selected the ones that went down. He could have, there was a couple of other clubs as well, one in France, if I remember right, as well, wanted him. So, his selections haven't been the best. And like I said, the year before that, he sat out 6 months because he was too choosy again. He didn't want to go on loan to the clubs available or get sold to any club available. So he's being very picky. And the problem is he knows if he gets sold, he's not getting any of the salary he's on at Chelsea. So he's kind of buying his time as well. But I think it's been a bit too long now. And that can start hurting you, like you said before.
Yeah, at some point it becomes an issue. It just seems as it would seem as if he's no longer serious about, you could say, about playing at the highest level. Just wants to earn the money, just like as the case as of Raheem Sterling. Everybody realized at some point that he just wants the money. But let's see what happens really. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the conversation. Let me catch up, give the microphone back to those in the chat, catch up with what they have to say. Yep, but I fixed that. Not a mute, really. The system shut down. I'm not sure whether the browser updated in the background. Yeah, we're doing everything custom these days. I'm trying to see if I'd have time to develop our own streaming app. Please let CFC cash out on Enzo. Period. 120 million is good. That kid is becoming more controversial and problematic than usual to us. Besides, he's not that exceptional. CFC not for CFC not to cash in. Rugged Frankie, always nice to see you. Appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. Kendurance, thank you. Just go back to work and leave me alone, Vic. Just go. Rocket Frankie says Tosin Adarabioyo the CC should be cashed in. It's not that simple. We want a lot of these players to go. The question is, are there clubs out there that are seriously interested in buying them off of us? That's the most important question. Not too many, unfortunately. But Nemaya, nice to see you. Nehe, I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. Kendra says that likely looking to reduce the Sarsi's future sell price with this loan, possibly. But if 5 million doesn't reduce it that much, in my opinion, I can't remember how much we paid for him. But I'm happy that we have another panelist on the panel with us. Jay just joined us, so yeah, you're guaranteed to get the falsified opinion. Even Dante, who's told us early on that he's tired, but we will join and see how long he can stay. If he leaves, you still have at least two people. Jay, big up to you. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation this afternoon. It's 12:25 p.m. for me. Your thoughts after the CC? That's actually the first topic we started discussing. What do you think about his situation, Jay?
Big up, coach. Big up, Dante.
Big up to you too, Jay.
Big up, Jay.
Big up, people in the chat. Look, the situation with Disasi is we're not in the greatest of situation with some of these players, especially some particular defenders. And I think it's pretty much obviously known by all the clubs out there that we are in a situation where we just don't want to keep them, and hence why they know that they don't need to purchase the player.
Okay, they know that we're desperate, right?
Exactly. They know that in any way or in any manner, we want them to leave the club for this particular season. Under no circumstances we want to keep them, and that is why I think the exploitations of situations like a loan deal for these players arrive again and again. It's not a coincidence. I think everyone knows our cards, and that is why they don't want to take a risk, even if they maybe rate the player and they want him permanently or for the future. They still got the opportunity to try them on loan for 1 year. So why won't they take that option? And that is why we see players like Disasi, Bediashil, and I won't be surprised that even in a few days we hear that the deal for Tosin can also be a loan one. So yeah, that is why these particular individuals linked with the multiple clubs suddenly got only options on loan.
Tosin's case, I don't think we'll be looking for a lot. And probably interested clubs would know that. We signed him as a free agent. I don't think would necessarily be looking for a lot. Dante, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I don't think he's probably looking to move. I don't think we really want to move him either. I think if there's an opportunity that arises that someone brings a good offer and maybe promises him, like I was talking about it while you were off, promises him a starting position at a club somewhere, well, he might be tempted to then make the move.
Like Marco Silva?
Sorry?
Like Marco Silva, he's former manager at Fulham.
Yeah, that could be it. That, but anyway, any of the clubs, especially the ones that like to, sit back and park the bus and defend. A lot of the clubs that have come up, and a couple in the Premier League still that do that. So he's a very, very good, one of the best box defenders, as in aerially, there is in the Premier League. So I know people don't really rate him much, but when it comes to box defending, and even if you're going to defend in the back three and him being that center guy, that's really going to elevate him more, make him play to his strengths as well. So yeah, look, I think if there's a club out there that want him, and we saw reports from Fabrizio, I think, said that there's a few clubs interested, not 1, 2, 3 or 4 clubs interested in him. Now, like I said, if they can offer him starter minutes, he might be tempted to go. Otherwise, I don't really see him leaving. I think he might be useful, even though he won't play much. He might be useful squad-wise, and when we want to shut the shop and box defend or against certain teams, he can be very useful. We saw that under Maresca when he used him the first year. He was very good at that, and he only used him in games like that. It's only when but when Maresca started playing around and putting him playing as a high line, I mean, you're asking for it basically. So that's when he got, very exposed. But that we knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. I think Maresca knew that was going to happen, to be honest. So just took the risk. So we'll wait and see what happens. But I think there's still a big chance that he stays, in my opinion.
All right, we'll get to Enzo Fernandez's case in a bit. That's why Enzo is still here. Chelsea pretend like he is not for sale, but clubs know that Chelsea want him out. Houston, even if we wanted him out, I think we're probably also open to keeping him. Yeah, we're also open to keeping him, and that's why we haven't gone out and signed another midfielder. But I don't think, because we want it. Let's assume we indeed do want him gone. I don't think because of that you sell him for cheap. I think we're serious about the 120 million pounds asking price, and we're serious about the deadline or time frame we've made public, that if you seriously want him, you better move for him and let's get it done before this time frame. Otherwise, the price changes. Because if they waste time and we get too closer to towards the end of the window, they're gonna make life a bit difficult to us. How do you keep a player that wants money? And as I've said, I can understand that it's money for all parties involved. It is, but more importantly, if we cannot for that reason sell him for cheap, given how much we signed him for. We cannot for that reason sell him for cheap. And we understand if he stays, he will still give his best. Otherwise, he will ruin his career. If it tries not to, if it's not committed and starts underperforming, the club will find out that he's not committed, and they will drop him and move on, but he'll still be at the club until the end of the season, and in turn, his career will suffer. But we'll get to that in a bit. We have to move to the next item, and we have Bobby on the panel here. Bobby, thank you for joining. I do hope you're doing well.
Yeah, big up, coach. Is that Jay and Dante?
Jay looks like he's at McDonald's, so he's disconnected. And Dante's on the panel too. I was going to say Dante's on the pitch too. But we are at Axel the CC. You want to add to that, or should we move on to the next one?
Well, what's happening? It's always talk, isn't it? Talk. Now they're talking loan. Just buy the guy.
And they're saying that £5 million loan is too much.
Well,
yeah.
What can I say? It's talk season, isn't it? So.
All right, I'm going to move to the next one if you don't have anything to add to that one. And Vince, like I said, we'll get to the Enzo Fernandez talk, but I'm just going to read this. It says it's difficult for Alonso to count on Enzo. You need to let him go for anything over 100 million. I don't think we're going to, if he goes, I don't think it'd be just anything less than how much we've made public. I've learned that from our current owners. So there's still a chance he stays. Well, we'll get to that in a bit. All right, next item. Enzo Fernandez were there actually already. According to Glongari, Manchester City's move for this is the first time I've seen this particular source. Manchester City's move for Enzo Fernandez is confirmed. We know that. Nothing new there. The same thing we've talked about. According to Fabrizio, the manager wants him. But it remains to be seen whether the club, after paying how much they paid for the number of players they've signed so far, whether they agree to still pay anything north for 100 million for Enzo Fernandez because he wants him. And it was a leak.
There are a number of things here.
Yeah, I think I saw something on Fabrizio's account that clearly says, I think a word that suggests it was a leak. Not it wasn't Maresca that told him that. Somebody, a source, told him that. And you remember we did talk about how he phrased it. Let me just read this through. He says that City. Okay, and then he went on to say Rodri's potential departure for Barcelona will prompt the citizens to re-engage with Chelsea. We've never engaged with them. Maybe re-engage because we had that meetings with regards to his behavior, to their managers, current managers' behavior when he was still with us. To re-engage with Chelsea to explore the figures involved in a possible deal. Maresca is a major advocate for Enzo Fernandez. Go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, I've looked at this whole Enzo Fernandez thing. You know, there's a number of things here. One thing's for certain, 120 million is a starting negotiation price, which in effect means that we should demand even more. I think more in the range of 150. They spent 116 million on
A player that hasn't won anything.
yeah, and they've spent nearly 100 million on another young player. So that's the set price. Secondly, Enzo Maresca is targeting Chelsea. He has been at Chelsea. He's afraid of the project. And part of his and Man City's strategy is to destabilize and weaken as much as possible, which is what he did. I don't think it's acceptable. I think, the fact that he had to pay a penalty for joining City speaks for
That's
itself.
telling. Yep.
I don't think we should be cooperating with them in any way, shape, or form. I'm surprised that in your what did you put out? You put out a oh gosh, what's the word? Can't even speak now. Survey.
Post
At the time
a
I
survey.
responded to
Did
it,
I? Oh, okay.
62%
Yeah.
of people just wanted, oh, sell to Man City. No, Man City is a huge rival. Strengthening them is out of the question. Chelsea's not here to
And in all
strengthen.
honesty, Bobby, I'm usually not into conspiracy theories, but in all honesty, I believe this one. It could be a strategy just to make sure we don't come close to them.
Yeah, of course it is a strategy. Of course it is a strategy. These people think very, very highly of Chelsea, and Man City actually believe that their rival is Chelsea, nobody else. That's why they're throwing all these grenades. I don't know. Chelsea fans, I don't know what world they're in sometimes. They come out with things and it's like they don't really think. This is not where we are meant to be. We're not here to strengthen Man City or Arsenal or Liverpool or any of these people. Now, if there is persistence on Enzo Fernandez, then there must be persistence on an astronomically high price. I personally feel that Enzo Fernandez should not leave, particularly to them, for anything less than 150 million pounds. They are going to have to absolutely break the bank to get this player,
Mm-hmm.
should they wish to. And I will wait and see what's happening. But it's interesting what Fabrizio is saying, which seems to be the case, that Chelsea are relaxed about it. He's there training with the team. They
And
are
they
preparing.
are they okay, yeah, go ahead, sorry.
They're preparing for the friendly on Saturday. And honestly, after Friday, that's it. We have a huge Premier League campaign to go into. And we don't need any instability. We don't need player movements, especially key player movements. So Chelsea has already told his agent, and I'm sure has told the player, that you have till Friday. After that, the door is shut. We don't
And I
have
love
to
that.
sell him.
I love that.
Well, of course, we don't have to sell him. Yes, he's 106 million, but you can do whatever you like with your asset. He can sit on the bench all season if it comes to it. You know, we can't have players coming to a club of the magnitude of Chelsea and holding us to ransom. So let's see what happens. My gut feeling is he will go nowhere.
I mean, it's still a possibility. I went from 80 to 20 leaning towards him leaving to 50-50. Haven't heard that Man City are seriously considering a move for him. But that's by the way, Jay,
Yeah,
let's hear you. Yeah.
that's reasonable. You know, it's
hmm
very reasonable. We
Yeah.
shall see.
All right, Jay, I'm gonna give the microphone to those in the chat. Come back to the panel so we can hear it from you. I've read that from Vic, and Vic says, "How do you keep a player that wants more money?" As I've said, it's business for all parties involved. I think Bobby did allude to that also. If he's bent on joining City, it makes life difficult for us. But we can also find a way to say, okay, if you want to join them, we don't want to sell you this window. If the manager really wants him, we can say we don't want to sell you this window, and he will stay. And I don't think he will down tools because we didn't sell him to City. If he does that, his career will take a hit. It's difficult for Alonso to count on Enzo sensible. You need to let him go. For any, no, I'm not sure about saying you suggesting how much we'll sell him for. A question: do we really need this guy? My personal opinion: we don't really need him. Pedro Neto can leave too. That guy can never raise his head up and have a good vision of the pitch. If the manager wants him, I'm sorry.
You
I
see,
understand.
these are the kind of comments that I don't find reasonable.
Hold
Okay,
on, Bobby.
so and so can leave. For who? Who is
Listen,
the
Bobby,
replacement?
is this opinion? The reason I'm laughing,
It's an
the last
opinion, but who is the
the last two
replacement?
words he said there, I know the meaning. Tofiakwa in my language essentially means God forbid. I'm dying here. But Bobby, I mean, more importantly, Bobby, I get where you're coming from. If the manager wants Pedro Neto to stay, he stays. But then again, it's important to note if Neto is bent on leaving, that changes everything. But I want him to stay. For reason I've explained, I
Coach,
know we're all,
let's be
yeah.
real. None of these
Mhm.
players are bent on leaving. None of them. If they were, you would see a demonstration of their attitude. They're quite relaxed about the situation, just like Chelsea is. I don't think they're as keen on leaving as people want to make out they are, including Enzo. In fact, Enzo has come out. He has come out and said that he is not the one pushing all this. It's his agent because of money.
All right, let's see. Rugged Frankie, well, thank you for speaking Igbo there. I appreciate you. What's going on here? Okay. Why do I have that one in the middle? I have to change the focus window here to that one. And Tawan, thank you for joining. Big up. I'm really getting tired of this Enzo saga. I think you're the one that you've chosen to perceive it as such. For me, nothing much. We already know that he twacked and pole danced for Madrid, and people from that behavior, uh, maybe it was easy for them to believe he was pushing to leave. Then, if you take your time, take a step back and look at the whole situation in a holistic manner, you'd learn, okay, you know what? We heard nothing about his future until we learned that, yeah, they were in his camp and Chelsea were in conversation for a pay rise for him, and they weren't able to reach an agreement. Then after that, we started hearing about his future and him wanting to leave and all of that. For me, it's not as complex as a lot of people make it to be. It's either, yeah, you go with, you know what, it looks like he definitely wants to leave Chelsea, and that's it. There are a lot of other journalists, they are exploiting you could call it that vulnerability of us as Chelsea fans. They know the situation. They know some Chelsea fans want him gone. They know some Chelsea fans want him to stay, so they can make up any nonsense they want, put it out there, and people will suck up to it or suck up to it. But big up, Tawan. Nice to see you. What else do we have here? Let's see. I'm not selling Enzo Fernández for less than 170 million, and I'm quite. Listen, we've been there. At some point, we heard that Chelsea wouldn't mind selling Malagusa for 35 million pounds, and then a few weeks later, we heard they are asking for 75 million pounds. So I'm not just going to go that, yeah, if they bring 120 million pounds to the table, that Chelsea will say, bye, Felicia. We don't know. We can only speculate. I told you Maresca wanted out after the Club World Cup. And I don't listen. I'm learning a lot more now. He sabotaged our season, irrespective of whether he wanted a centre back, and we didn't sign him one. I'm still going to stick with his sabotage last season. And I was one of his biggest defenders. I defended him even when I shouldn't be defending him, actually. But despite the way, I think that's far-fetched to assume Maresca has a personal beef. Listen, it's a conspiracy. I've never wanted to believe in conspiracies, but yeah, it sounds believable to me, and I want to believe it because I can't trust him anymore. With Chelsea and aims to dismantle the so-called project, it's a bit of an exaggeration. Okay, you believe what you want to believe. It's a business decision. The players want more than 200k a week, and keeping him on the bench will reduce his value. That's a fact. All right, City don't see this club as a threat to their title. You don't work for City and you don't know. So as much as you have every right to say it's a bit of an exaggeration to maybe believe or to theorize that they are actually sabotaging our season on papers by trying to sign 3 of our players. They know they will have the upper hand in every facet of football. Perhaps Bobby is backing up the wrong. Yes, you know what? I hope they come into the season with the mindset that the trophy is theirs already. You see your opinion there. So your opinion is that they don't see us as a threat. I hope so. I hope they don't. I hope they don't even see Arsenal or Liverpool as a threat, which I think it's a lie. I don't believe that. But it's just your opinion anyway, and I respect that. Enzo better make up his mind. He's either all in or out. We don't have a time for these games. Nice to see you once again, Kishan, my New York bro. I don't know why anybody hasn't blocked you, Kishan. Even Rogers, Esteval, Palmer, João Pedro, Kenda, Welbeck, Nato, Gittins, Premier League defenders, be afraid. CFC gamer, yeah, you're happy. I can sense that. That reflects in your comment there. Alonso is cooking something delicious with Chelsea, and I have my plate waiting. Adai say, I don't know whether those are 3 names or so. Adai say Andrew, but Andrew is definitely part of it. But Andrew, nice to see you. So does the agent control Enzo? I think whatever the agent says, probably Enzo consents to that. Definitely. We've talked about that. I don't see a world where he just go about saying things that Enzo doesn't consent to. I think he will lose his job. The fact that he still has a job tells me that Enzo twerking and pole dancing from Real Madrid, he was part of the plan. He wouldn't say anything that his client doesn't consent to. I think he'd be jobless by now. But that's fine. I'm gonna scroll past quite a lot. I can't read everything you guys have there. And Mr. Andrew or Miss Andrew, if this is your first time here, welcome. Feel at home, express yourself. All we ask of you is to keep it civil. Here, your opinion matters. Kuchi, but Tafiakwa isn't an Igbo phrase. It's actually originated from Ghana. Really? I didn't know. I've always thought it's an Igbo language. And Tafia, when you're spitting, Tafiakwa, that's something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, we learn every day. Really? Igbo say Tafiakwa, and now you say Tafiakwa. Okay. I don't know. All right, but thank you for that education there. I appreciate that. You'd be silly to think these players on iron and exit. All it takes is a good offer, and they are out of the door. The likes of Enzo deserves a good fortune this window, and nobody is saying that players won't look to be earning a lot higher than they're currently earning at Chelsea. I think it'd be senseless not to consider that, yeah, it's a job, more importantly. And in our respective lives, I'm quite sure a lot of us have had periods in our lifetime that we've applied for jobs, and when you have offers on the table, you almost always go for the one that pays you the most, except for family reasons and other factors that could lead to you not starting you can say joining the highest bidder maybe. I will for what? For misinformation, Kishon, I'm gonna take your spanner and block you immediately. All right, let's see what else we have here. Is the shit fire that agent? As I've said, I don't believe that for anything he said publicly that Enzo wasn't aware of any of them. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's a job. Tell Bobby we'll all change jobs for more financial stability, but I get it, and Bobby agrees to that. But there are other factors to also consider. Are we still going to sign Diego Costa? I think the rumors out there at the time we learned were all lies. We learned that they were all lies, and the video that I shared, somebody shared it, and thank goodness I preceded my comment with I think with something to the effect of, could this be, because I wasn't certain, him saying goodbyes to his teammates. It turns out that his teammates were actually consoling him for the passing of his grandpa or something to that effect. But that's, by the way, we have Tony Sewell in the house. Tony, thank you for joining the conversation. But I'm going to go to Jay right now. Jay, your thoughts, the Enzo Fernandez situation?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. We realized you were either at McDonald's or something because your internet connection disconnected.
Yeah, that's quite unnecessary, But yeah, let's just.
I have to let the world
disclaimer.
know that you use cheap internet connection.
Nah, I'll still give you a disclaimer that I can again, switch off anytime. So I'm not sure. I'm struggling with some internet issues right now. Look,
It happens.
I heard I was watching the stream yesterday as well in the morning, and I just don't understand this whole Enzo Fernandez discourse at all. It does not make sense to me, and
And it has refused to go away.
Yeah, I mean, and by this I mean the protective side of the fans who are, on their knees for Enzo Fernandez to be at this club. I just don't get it. Let's begin from the very beginning. I'm, by the way, tired of people criticizing the fans of this club. When the owners are wrong or when they were doing something silly, let's put the fans into the blame. They are being mad, they are waffling and all those things. When the sporting directors were doing some silly stuff in deals and all, and fans try to raise their voice, okay, the fans are mad again. Now, when a player has also doing some foolish stuff in the transfer market, again, the fans are suddenly wrong. For what? For wanting a player out who has no commitment towards this club. He wanted Real Madrid. And by the way, again, I need to clear a lot of things. When I speak about Enzo's agent, that is Enzo Fernandez. These are interchangeable. These are not two different persons. I haven't heard a more bigger nonsense than this thing that Enzo's agent is different and Enzo Fernandez hasn't said following things. It does not make any sense.
I mean, are you indirectly agreeing with me, Jay?
I don't know. You have said a lot of things. I don't know where I'm agreeing and where I'm disagreeing. So pardon me there. I have seen some fans defend players and they go, extra mile for that. But this one is a bit too much, where you're distinguishing a player and his agent and saying that those two are separate entities. And unless Enzo Fernandez speak himself all those things about Real Madrid and everything, then we will believe it. Now that's crazy, you know. That is really, really crazy. Enzo Fernandez agent works for him. Everything the agent does or says gets approval from Enzo Fernandez, right? And you know what? The Real Madrid thing, I will cut him some slacks there because that's Real Madrid. Many bigger players have, you know, shown their intention or willingness to uh, go there and uh, work for that club. So I'll give him some leeway there. Now he wants to go to Manchester City. A few days back, I said that let me see how much the links with Manchester City intensifies. And we are seeing that with Fabrizio Romano, Bobby Vincent, Nizar Cancela, all those bigger journalists coming, that there are serious links. Fabrizio even said that Enzo's agent has met with the representative of Manchester City. Now, this is not a case where he wants to fulfill his dream and go to Real Madrid. This is more of a case where his priority is to leave this club, Chelsea Football Club. He does not want to go and pursue his dream, that is Real Madrid. He wants to leave Chelsea Football Club. That's a desperation to leave this club. Now, a player who's doing following things, he's showing his desperation that he does not want to stay here. And if the fans are disliking a player for this particular behavior, how are the fans being foolish? We just don't want, we just don't like a player who does not want to give his 100% to this club. And that is why we dislike him. And that is why we want him to leave this club. How are the fans being wrong in this situation? That is something I will never believe. He is pushing to go to Manchester City. His priority is to not go to XYZ club. His priority is to get out of Chelsea Football Club. And I do not want any player like that associated with my club.
All
I
right,
will,
Jay, I have a quick question for you, Jay.
yeah, go on.
If you don't mind, have you seen anything that suggests that definitely he wants out? Because we did address a particular report yesterday that did say something to the effect of that everything, but at the same time, I'm going to say something quickly when I'm done saying that everything we've heard with regards to him moving and all the shenanigans all coming from his camp. But then again, as you've mentioned, they don't exist independently. If they do anything today, it'd be because Enzo Fernandez says, okay, do it. But have you seen anything out there that says, yeah, definitely he's bent on leaving Chelsea and his priority would be to join Enzo Maresca at Manchester City? If anything, we've heard reports from Manchester City's perspective and Enzo Maresca's preference or maybe push to reunite with one of his favorite players at Chelsea. So have you seen anything that suggests that definitely that, yeah, he's pushing to join City?
I mean, all these links about Manchester City, what does this mean? Aren't those enough to tell me that he wants to leave the club? He is pushing, right? His agent met with Manchester City's representative. That is a very big
I,
indication that he
I
wants to
think we
go.
have
Hold
to
on,
be
Bobby.
fair here.
Let him answer the question. Let him drop. Go ahead, Jay.
And I'm not, mentioning some random journalist. That is Fabrizio. He came out and said that the Xavier guy, whatever the name is of Enzo's agent, he met with Manchester City's representative, and they are exploring a deal, which is a clear indication that he wants, if there is an opportunity, he would still prefer to go outside from Chelsea. So as I explained just a few minutes back, that Real Madrid one could be a dream job. Even players like Eden Hazard, Tony Rudiger, and many more, the greatest of Liverpool players, even Manchester United players, we have seen them express their dreams to go there. I will give him the leeway in that case. But going to Manchester City out of a sudden, when there is we have our first game, not less than 2 weeks away, and he still wants to do this, he could have very clearly ended all these links with Manchester City. There was no need for him to go there. And he is not, I cannot imagine that it is a dream for him to play for Manchester City, right? This is a clear desperation that he just wants to get out of this club.
That's a sensible conclusion, Bobby. Let's hear you. That's a very sensible conclusion. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, we have to be fair here and be rational. None of this is coming from Enzo. It's not even coming from his camp. And this is why it is a Manchester City ploy. They have flooded media with, oh, Enzo Maresca wants this, Enzo Maresca is going to go full out on this, full out. That's not coming from Enzo's camp at all. Now, the Real Madrid thing at one point, where his agent actually owned some of the things he was saying, that's a different matter. And Madrid, hit that on the head. Even that wasn't coming from Enzo. The closest thing that came from Enzo came from his wife. And she said that they were very happy at Chelsea. Look, I'm not saying I like all this kerfuffle, but it's classic. Clubs do this. They have done this from time immemorial. This was once upon a time a Liverpool ploy. When they saw that you were a rival, they'll start talking about your players, putting things out there. And this is often done towards the start of a season. That's why if you see Enzo all the time, he's smiling. He's very indifferent to the situation, just like Chelsea are. I mean, Chelsea have made a statement, but when you have made their position clear, they haven't even made a statement. They've just made their position clear. But when you have another club and their manager, particularly playing these games, Enzo Maresca plays a lot of the dark arts. He knows how powerful Chelsea is. He knows the project. He was part of the project. He sees the threat. And in his eyes, and in Man City's eyes, the biggest threat they have is Chelsea. And they are in a position, because of Chelsea not playing Champions League and so on, to try and stick the knife into the squad. They did not really expect Chelsea to take this whole U-turn in their recruitment and do what they've done. So this isn't necessarily coming from Enzo, to be fair to him, and I think it'll be wrong for us to start calling him out his name for something that he's not directly involved in. Yes, he's the subject matter, but he can't particularly help that.
All right. Thank you for that. Here's what's going to happen. We have Tony in the house, but Tony is not that important. So no, I don't think anybody on the panel knows him. I'm going to give the microphone back to those in the chat, catch up with them. And there's one interesting comment from my boy and bro, Josh. I haven't seen you like in 1,000 years. I'm not saying we're vampires, but you get the gist. Once we come back to the panel, then we hear from Tony, and then that interesting topic. The next one actually commented from Josh. I'd like Dante to speak on it, and everyone else on the panel who's interested in that particular comment can chip in. But big up, nice to see you, my bro. I can't complain. Any day above ground is a good day. It's been a minute. I actually I think, when was it? I thought I have to reach out to you to see if you're okay, because I haven't seen you anywhere. You're usually everywhere on the panel, and somewhere in the sometimes in the chat, talking Chelsea. Agents, work on behalf of you, not always for you. That's an interesting comment, Dante. Please do not forget. That's a comment we'll come back to. And Yakun says that the only downside to Enzo leaving is the massive drop in ball IQ in the midfield. There's little talent on the market to take up that big gap, and I think we will. It will lead. This will lead to further regression. I disagree. We've been there before, and I'm gonna just speaking of that quickly. Dynamics would change, as Dante did mention the first that we talked about his possible departure. Dynamics will change, and the manager will find a solution if he's indeed a good manager, which I believe he is. We lost Eden Hazard, and we won the Champions League the season after. Was that not the case? Yeah. We lost and we won the Champions League the season after. These things happen. Chelsea will not all of a sudden start fighting relegation if Enzo Fernandez leaves. And I am one of his biggest supporters, actually. We were one of those that understood when Maresca benched him that he was just a temporary thing, because Maresca wanted 260s who were capable of shielding the defensive line effectively, that eventually he will become a regular. From being a regular, actually, he became one of his most important players. So I disagree.
I hope we have time to discuss tactics, because with the arrival of Pep Chavaria, there's some tactics that really need to be ironed out with Chelsea's midfield.
Definitely we will. And then Josh says Enzo can leave. He clearly wants to go. If he in fact wants to go, we don't know. But I believe that's the case. I am saying that Pastore is doing what he thinks is the best thing for his client. Enzo wants more money. No surprises there. It's work business for all parties involved. Not sure Enzo cares where it comes from. And this says, so you're basically saying the same thing as Vic there. Chelsea should go and get Wharton and Scott. I like Wharton. I'm not sure whether we need both, but I'm not the manager. Chelsea's stance is very clear. Pay up or shushu. And I agree. I like that. And with the time frame, pay up. This time you have this from now to a certain date, pay up or just move on. All right, but I'm going to come back to the panel and I'm not going to read everything and make sure you keep the topics aligned. Otherwise, I will assume you are having a good conversation with someone in the chat. So let's hear you. This is no statistics, but I'm quite sure you're well acquainted with the topic, Tony. All right, your opinion on the situation.
Well, first of all, I'd like to share my spider graph about how Enzo stacks up to our new midfield. I'm just kidding. No, what do you want to know?
Your opinion, your thoughts on the whole thing, you know. I mean, if you have your own conspiracy theory on the situation, I want to hear it. I'm open to it, really.
I like parts a little bit of what everybody said, but my problem is I really liked Enzo, and I have a very expensive Enzo shirt, so now I got to figure out what to do with that because he's probably leaving. So I might have to heat press a new logo, a new name set on there for another player. But no, man, I really liked him, and I agree. If any of this has already been said, I agree with what Yan said. I think after the guy he's a terrific player, and on the field, probably gonna get some heat for this, but I was kind of in this outside minority where I was never really a big fan of Mason Mount, and I really like when Enzo just kind of chested up to him, and then Nani later on, kind of this, he fights for the badge kind of thing, you know what I mean? And I really love that. And I was just yeah, that's my vice captain, we've been missing some of that fire in the team, oh, you're not going to do this to Chelsea, or this is Chelsea, or this is my home. You kind of, I don't know if you guys remember that match when we were playing.
No, I remember that, yeah.
And I was just yeah, man, you don't just walk away like that, especially when you had so many people there were so many people defending Mount, for example, whenever he bleeds blue, and then he's not if Manchester United pays him enough money, he doesn't. He bleeds red now like a normal person. But no, I mean yeah, Enzo, I really just love his passion and all that. So, I was really all on board. And now it's just I mean, do I want to use as extreme a word as untenable? I mean, I think there's a way back. But, I mean, this is a brand new team. We have a brand new manager. Apart from some of these, I guess, people that are going to be sold that were well, I felt like I was part of a B team on the tour, apart from that, everybody that, Xabi wants in his team, there's a really good feeling around the club and around the training ground. If you, do your research and read into it, there's a really good camaraderie. It sounds like the dressing room is all in, right? And I'm interested to see how some of these newer people or people just returning integrate in with everyone else. Because, yeah, Reece is our captain, but he just got back. And then there's Maxence, and then there's, Chavaria now. But the feeling, it's just been good vibes, man. I mean, there's a lot that came out in an article from The Athletic about how they only got 2 nights off, but they really, had some team meals together, and Xavi wanted to make sure that they bond. He even bonded with like the coaching staff and went for a game of golf with them, so there's not only he's an amazing player, but just as a player, like he understands, and not that there haven't been other player managers, but he really understands the importance of developing that cohesion. So you have this, but it's newly formed, right? It's in its like embryo phase, right? And then you bring Enzo back, and it's like, we had the shenanigans on the team bus with Argentina last summer, as we all know. And then, we have, like, he's, like we say, twerking for Madrid. And now it's just like, and his wife is like, oh, we're happy here. And I'm just like, well, I have a few thoughts. I'm trying to organize them. Sorry, I'm all over the place. So his wife puts that out. And I remember
the word you're looking for, it's toxic. It's quite
yeah, well,
toxic.
his wife put that message out. And I remember thinking, do you need her to do your PR for you? Because it's like you have your wife saying everything's fine, and then you have your agent acting like an absolute knob, and like, yeah, he hasn't done him any favors. We all know that. But we don't hear from you, and every time we do, it's some kind of action that would suggest that, you don't want to be here. Now, look, I think we all... Well, I don't want to say we all. I don't like to speak in absolutes. I would imagine.
Yeah, please don't speak on my behalf.
I would.
It's not statistics.
Yeah, Coach. I don't think you like graphs enough, to be honest. No, but like, no. I think it's safe to say that most of us. Yeah, I lost where I was going with that. You distracted me. Anyway,
I did it.
We see his actions, and it's just like, Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Most of us would kind of agree with him. We could see where he was coming from, because we were also very upset with the ownership and the sporting directors, and we're like, and part of me went out to him, and I had a soft spot for him because I was a little bit biased to Enzo, right? But I feel like a lot of us kind of got, no, dude, no, we get it. We know why you want to get out. Like, I can't believe that Palmer and other people don't want to get out, Like, we're shambles, But then, we got a nice little, not later on when he tried to do the Courtois thing and say, oh, come join me at Madrid, Enzo, But at first, Cucurella, before he got his move, we got a lesson in how you can respectfully, like, kind of let it be known, kind of put it out there. Hey, we don't think this is okay either. We don't like what's been happening, But he wasn't flirting with another club publicly, right? Whereas that's what Enzo did. So, I mean, then you have strike two, and it's like, and then then you have his agent doing all this stuff, talking, putting the stuff out about Madrid, and then they have to come out and denounce it. And now it's just like, well, maybe there is a way back. Maybe he does want to be in here. He hasn't said, anything either way, but the news coming out is that he still very much wants to leave. And on top of all that, here's the icing on this cake, man. Like, his shenanigans during the World Cup, like, let me tie a ribbon on this. We are developing this nice cohesion, but it's brand new, right? And it's fragile. It's in its infancy, and I think that needs to be protected at all costs. Do I think that he would come back and be toxic in the dressing room? No, I think he's professional enough, at least, around his teammates. I mean, we could see he loves his teammates, at least, to not do that. And not only that, this cohesion's been forming without him there, so he's kind of coming back to this mob that's kind of all already united, so he would be in the minority. I don't think he would cause a stink. The problem is that, another problem is that when we go play our matches away, or even at our place, if rival fans, he's going to get booed up and down the coast. Because of what, we're already going to have to probably deal with Barco a little bit with what happened between him and Bellingham. But English fans do not like this guy. You know what I mean? He didn't do himself any more favors, and he's just going to give him more of a reason. And that some of your antics in the past, they start to fade with time, right? But when you do stuff like this, and you bring up kind of this fresh, like, crop of BS, like, hey, remember what I'm capable of? Remember some of the, shitty things that I can do? then they're gonna go back and be like, "Oh, weren't you on that team bus saying that stuff that was like some of us really felt was very racist? Oh, didn't you do this? Didn't you do that? You know?" And they're gonna remember that, and it's just all gonna come together. He's gonna get booed every time he touches the ball, everywhere we go. And I'm not saying that our mentality can't overcome that. But that's the whole thing, right? It's like, yeah, we have some adults in there now. We basically have a team of children where if they go down one goal, they can't even find a way back in most of the time. So now that we've got some leadership there and we're developing cohesion, I'm just saying psychologically, I don't know that's the best thing for us either. So if he wants to leave, like, I really like the player. But for him to do that and say the stuff he did about English people, I don't even know if, like, I don't live in England. I can't speak for the English, but I could totally see how his comments about English people that clean my house, obviously that sounds offensive, but was that lost in translation with language? I don't know. I don't know if that was intentional. I don't know if he was being arrogant. I don't know if it was miscommunicated. My point is, though, it's like death by 1,000 cuts with this guy. It's even if one of those things isn't big enough, it's so many little things. Yes, it's like Bobby said, it's toxic now. I think there's a way back if he wanted to be a part of things. And I think if there was any manager to kind of facilitate that, it would be Alonso. But it sounds like he still doesn't want to be there. So you know what? Let's get the money for him, right? And I mean, that's the thing, too. He wants to go to Madrid so bad, but I know he loves Maresca. But, he never talked about City. But, City's kind of his only way out now, it seems like currently. And that's all we're hearing about. So it's like, oh, are you just going to go to the closest bidder? Is that how bad you want to go? Well, then go. If a player doesn't want to be here, they can go, and I hate that because he gave me so many good moments that I hate this so much. But, like he did this, right? We didn't do this. The club didn't do this. He did this, and I hate that he did.
Here's one more ribbon on the package. You use that, and I like that. You say, here's the ribbon on it. I want one more ribbon, or maybe now glue the ribbon on the whole thing. To glue it on it. The question I have for you: do you think he stays, or do you think he leaves?
I think that's contingent. I think he stays if he has no choice. I think if he has a way out, and our valuation is close to being met, as long as it's not too low, and somebody comes in for him, somebody that is in the Champions League, I think he goes. But I also I think there's a world where if our valuation is not close to being met, or that team is not in the Champions League, which, I mean, everybody that could possibly meet our valuation are all in the Champions League, right? And there's probably like 3 of them, and I think we all know who they are. Real Madrid, PSG, possible. Don't know how he would fit that midfield. It's already pretty perfect, but we've heard some rumors about that, but that could be more of his agent putting stuff out there too. And then City. And City seems like the most likely destination, I think, as we all see if he were to go. And then they can hold that. They can deal with all the booze that he has going up and down the coast, because I think if they come in, he'll go. But I think those are the only 3 teams with the money. I think we all know that. But, I mean, he stays if he has to, and then he better figure it out, right? He better be on his best behavior. And Alonso is probably going to get in his ear and say, hey, bro, why don't you stay off social media, and why don't you not talk to anybody for like a long time? And also, we may have talked about this before. I apologize, I don't remember. But also, you're not my vice captain anymore, right? We can figure this out, but too much, okay? Reece is my captain, and my vice captain, hopefully, would be either Caicedo or Colwill, but in my opinion. But I think that's the only way he stays is if he doesn't have any options. Otherwise, I think he's gone because the message has been pretty consistent. And a guy I watched today, what's his name? A channel called the Stamford Sink, a guy named Matt, like he was talking about how, what was it? Man, I think I need coffee today. I lost it. Anyway, it was just the point was like, he's if he has to stick around, like there can be a way back, but he can't be a vice captain anymore. And we need to kind of demote him a little bit. Oh, I know what he was saying. He was saying that it has not gone away, that he kind of wants to leave since well before the transfer window. And even last year, like we were hearing these faint little rumors, even before any of this, like last year we were hearing faint little rumors about Madrid, and we were like, I bet they would like him. I could see him going there someday. I don't think any of us realized it would be the next season, you know what I mean? So my point is, do I think he's going to Madrid? No, not necessarily. But I just think that he wants to leave because that's just kind of been there. Ever since Maresca was gone, he was just like, that's kind of the last straw for me. And he down tools. No, he didn't. A lot of the other guys down tools, as the Brits would say, but he began to act out in other ways. So I just think there's enough evidence there to where he doesn't want to be here. But I think that Alonso, see, this is the beauty of having Xabi Alonso, right? This is the last thing I'll say. If we find ourselves in a situation like this, I can't even imagine Rosenior handling this, but if we find ourselves in a situation like this, you would need the perfect kind of person who commands the level of respect that Alonso does to kind of rein that in. So if it turns out that City don't get him, or they don't cough up enough money, and no one else comes in, there are no other suitors, whatever it is, and he ends up staying, and like everybody's shocked. Will it be toxic? Will it? No, I think he could be a professional, but I think if there's one manager who could kind of manage that and keep him in check, it would be Alonso. So, it's funny too, right? Because Alonso had that one big season with Leverkusen and I'm sorry, was it why am I not?
Leverkusen, you're correct. Bayer Leverkusen.
Yep. And then he goes to Madrid and he still had over a 70% win rate, right? So he's a great coach. He was just an ego problem there. But let's say it was a good year at Madrid too. That's 2 really good years in top leagues, yeah. As far as win percentage goes, especially at Leverkusen, my God, invincible. But we are so blessed to have him, because when you have that kind of career behind you, like these players, you command their respect. So it's like, even if you had a really good coach, like he brings so much more to the table, just having won everything. I just think if there was anyone that we needed to kind of curtail and control that situation, it would be Alonso. So I think he's going. If he's not out, I don't think it'll be a problem internally because Alonso will handle that. But we're gonna have to eat. We're gonna have to eat some jeers from crowds every time he touches the ball for a while, and hope these guys aren't fragile children and they've grown up a little bit this year and that won't affect them. So.
All right, thank you so much. I'm going to give the microphone back to those in the chat, come back to the panel, and then we will look at that interesting question. I think I know that's a sort of, not necessarily a question, comment, or contribution in the chat that I know Dante would love to talk about. But let's see, where did I stop? Here we have Jojo. Yep, Jojo GT86, big up to you too. I agree with the McDonald's guy. I had to highlight this so that Jay can see it. Jay, I'm winning today. You are the McDonald's guy. Jesus, I love it. Okay, I agree with the McDonald's guy. When the agents speak, it is, I'm sorry. And I cussed it. When the agents speak, it's what Enzo is saying. The agent is just the medium of a communication. I'm a sinner here. Okay, period. More money or free me. That's what Enzo wants, and what Pastore is working on his job. Get his client the best deal he can get for him. With wingbacks attacking and the addition of Rogers, Chelsea need still to play next to Moises. Okay, Enzo is in the 6th or a defensive, bring in Lewis Skelly. You haven't you heard that they're not looking to sell him, Mr. Lama? Have you not heard that? And the truth is in the house. Big up to you two in the panel and the chat. It's ultimatum time. I can't pronounce that word. Man City have almost 11 days or so to make a decision. If not, then Enzo will stay. But will he give 100%? Yeah, he's a professional. If he stays, be a bit grouchy, but definitely will give it his all. Because if you don't play well, you're not going to get that big move the coming season. It would take a lot of convincing. Maybe the clubs already know that, yeah, maybe he has to perform. I don't think so. No other way to put it. But big up, Temi. Nice to see you, Temi. Okay, just big up to you too, as you said. Big up to everybody on the panel. What else do we have here? Vic and Vic and Vic after Vic. I predicted City would come for him, and people say City don't need him. I think Dante explained very well why they need him, down to how the manager utilizes Enzo Maresca, Enzo Fernandez at Chelsea as a hybrid of 8 and 6, but nothing serious about the 6 aspect of that hybrid. It just seemed coming deeper to collect the ball and all that. City will bid for him this weekend, and they will close the deal, but I don't think we'll sell him for cheap, irrespective of what anybody thinks. But big up Olua, the truth, nice to see you. Dante, let's go back to that particular comment there, very interesting one. And something makes me, you say something that's got me to say to myself, you know what, that's a fact. Let me find that from Josh here. Where is it? Yeah, this one here. And that reminds me, before I let you speak on it, that reminds me of João Felix's case. It just seemed as if his agent, who always makes sure he joins the highest bidder, for lack of a more simplified or specific, accurate way to get that point across. But you guys get the gist. But Dante, let me hear your thoughts on this particular comment here. Agents work on behalf of you, not always for you. And that makes sense, because they would want you to go join a club that would mean that they make a lot of money. But Dante, let's hear you.
Yeah. Look, it's, there's different people, different cases. Not all agents have really good friends like Pastore is with Enzo Fernandez. They are really good friends. They were best friends off field as well. So they're a bit like family as well. So that, just to give you that angle on, their relationship. So
you can argue that what you just said confirms that whatever he said, definitely in agreement with Enzo Fernandez.
Yes, I would think so, because he's not one of those big agents that has all the big agents that have 100 clients and no. Well, this guy is Enzo Fernandez's agent. So, and like I said, they're best friends off field before that, and they're like family basically. So it's a little bit different when it's that dynamic involved. And that's why Pastore was a bit too emotional and a bit too, talking the way he did, not very professional, which I brought up because, yes, when you're like that, when you're that close and that, you got passion and you're a bit emotional for Enzo, etc., and for himself. A proper, one of those big agents would not be talking like that because that's not what they do. And so just to give a bit of dynamic on that, coming from that. So look, basically, everything Enzo, Pastore and Enzo, they're pretty much on the same page, 100%. Yeah.
No denying that, yeah.
There's no denying that. No, like I said, the only reason would be if he's got a rule in one of those big agents that has 100 clients and, that's a little bit different, but this is not that. So they're definitely on the same page. Now, Pastore might have, he spoke a bit, like I said, a bit too emotional. It got a bit out of hand. But, like I was saying at the time, he should probably fire him, to be honest. But then when I looked deep into it, how close they are, etc., well, that's why he hasn't fired him. They're very close. So, yeah, look, whatever he says, basically it's Enzo Fernandez. Now the other thing I want to do clear up. I heard Jay saying in that they went to Man City, blah blah blah. Well, that's not been written anywhere. There's no proof of that anywhere. Man City has came and inquired about Enzo Fernandez, so it's not the other way around. So just to clear that up. So
But there's no telling whether they did or not.
no, and like I said on yesterday's show, Maresca being there is, important because he has his private phone number. They probably would have spoken in the off season, etc. Especially how it ended Chelsea's season. Obviously, he probably wanted out 100%. And can you blame him? Well, he's got high ambitions. He's got a massive ego. He's a very important player. As in on the world stage, he's becoming a superstar type of player. Got to another World Cup final. Nearly won. Got really far to win another World Cup. He's a very important player, and these players do have huge egos. So, like I keep saying, 1 year, 6 months is a very long time in football. Things change very quickly. So, he wanted probably out, and we can't blame him because he has given us 4 years. He was here through the rough times at the start. He's been through it all. So,
And
he's been here
showed commitment
he showed commitment.
at the
He
time.
always plays 100% on the field, gives it all to the badge. Tony was saying, against Mount, Noni, against most players, he's like that. When it's against someone that was with us and they're not with us anymore, well, he's even more into them. So that just shows his commitment. He's always going to give 100% on the pitch. Even last season, the last 10 games where we really struggled, he still was assisting, scoring, and still pushing hard, doing his best. It's not like he stopped playing and he's the reason why we lost. So yeah, look, it's a complicated one. I think it's basically it started, like you said, coach, from the contract, to get a new contract, to give him a pay rise, which he deserved. They're on the same page, obviously. That's what Clear Lake do. They're going to give you a pay rise if you deserve it, like they have to most of the players. Now, obviously, there was a bit of an impasse there. Obviously, he wanted way more, probably. And, they couldn't quite meet in the middle. And then how the season finished, he probably, started
And you
looking
can,
at other options. Simple as that. Like most players do. Big
another.
players will do that. They will look at
Yeah.
other options. It's very simple. It's business. We keep
Yeah, I was going to say
harping on
business
about
for all
that.
parties involved.
We
I was
keep
going to
harping
say
on about that. It's number one business. First, number one is business
Right.
at that level. It's always business, number one.
it's
So,
work. Maybe a much simpler language. And I was going to say one other thing that compounded the situation, the fact that they were all going to take a pay cut because we didn't qualify for Europe.
20% is a lot.
I think it makes sense to say that fact also. Yeah, for me, it's a factor that you can argue must have contributed to him, to some of the players wanting to leave. But go ahead.
Well, especially the players that earn a lot more, because when you take 20% off a guy that's earning 100, it's not that much. I mean, it's not much. But, when he's closer to 200, then that starts, adding up. So, yeah, look, and where he is in his career, etc., how valuable he is, he's probably wants to be on par or maybe even more. We don't know. We don't know how much he wants. We don't know that.
We don't know, and I don't think that will ever come out. Even if it comes out, you
No.
can't trust it. It'll be only speculations. Bobby, you want to add anything to that, Bobby?
I know what I want to add to it.
Go ahead.
They say 30% of the world is covered by land and the rest by N'Golo Kante.
Okay.
When Chelsea became the only team really to have won the Premier League playing a back three, it was because Kante was in the middle, covering the spaces from the overlapping wing backs, and Matic stood as a rock as a DM. I'm fed up with fretting over Enzo Fernandez. It is what it is. I really, really want to talk about the new arrival and the tactics that will need to be deployed for us to have a successful season.
That's on another show to Bobby, not
Yeah.
now.
Okay. I
Can I
just
Yeah,
say
put
one?
that
we
through.
will. We
Can
will.
I say one
Let's just
thing
catch up
I'll
with all
throw
the
that
items.
grenade.
It makes sense.
about the business and what
Mm.
Dante was talking about with the contracts? Just a side note that I've always wanted to mention, like we we're not even breaking. We not only don't break our wage structure for superstar
Mhm.
players that we have. We don't even do it when we break the British transfer record. I believe Morgan Rogers, for example, is on 200K a week, I think, plus bonuses, if I remember correctly. So,
Probably even less than that.
and then our highest earner is Reece James, and I believe he was grandfathered in from the previous, or was his deal done right after Clearlake took over? I'm trying to remember. But Reece James, I think, is our highest earner. And after that, I think it's like, is it Caicedo? Because now Sterling's gone. He was our highest earner. Um, but I mean, you know, if we're not even anywhere near his valuation of his contract, right? It's like we won't even break our raise structure for guys that can change games for us, or when we break a record and make
Yeah,
a transfer.
Tony. Reece James did a extension last year. He got
Okay.
off the old contract and got onto the new contract, which is
Oh,
250.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Missed that one.
incentivized contracts. If
Yeah.
how much he plays, if he gets injured,
Yeah.
that was quite heavily from what I've read into that
So
contract.
they used. Did you saying they did that in lieu of taking his salary down a little? Did they take his base salary down a bit?
No, it stayed the same.
Okay, yeah. So because that's kind of grandfathered in, right? Though, because he had that really high wage, I think, put in place right when Clearlake came over right before. And then, if I remember correctly, I think they
250. Yeah.
instituted that right as Mount was trying to get his contract increase, and then he didn't get what he wanted, and that was part of him leaving. But anyway, with Enzo, and then this is the last thing I'll say, it's just like we won't even do that. And I kind of didn't want to talk about Enzo. I want to talk about our transfers. This is why I get sick of hearing about every year, like, oh, we're probably going to sign this guy, like, oh, I remember last year, or was it last year or this year, it's like, could Rodrigo come? And then it was like, oh, maybe we could get this guy. It's just every time they mention these Galactico guys, it's just like, help me out, have we yet signed one Galactico player from a place where they make more money than we would pay them? So like sorry, I had to get off my chest because it always drives me crazy.
Well, Bluecoat did that in the
I hope we
beginning,
get
didn't
this
they?
player, and
That
I'm
was
like,
why
no,
they
what?
went for Sterling, but they've
What's that?
stopped that now.
No, right. That's what I'm saying though. Nowadays, when we get, I'm just like, I just think I always want to put this out there because I'm so sick of reading like even really prominent content creators like, oh, could we sign it? It's like, no, we couldn't because he makes 300 grand a week, and we're not going to pay him anywhere close to that. You know what I mean? Like as a base. Yeah.
And clubs are actually starting to change their salary structure
Oh yeah.
because it's becoming a huge problem. Yeah. A lot of clubs are changing. A lot of clubs are trying to get rid of the top earners. That's why in City's case, when your salary gets to a certain point, the next thing will be your departure because it just can't go beyond a certain measure. There are lots of rules dictating how much clubs pay players. It's not quite salary cap yet, but you could argue they dictate how much you're able to offer a player. And yeah, so it does make sense. And actually, we were ahead of time in terms of that, but it still creates a problem for us. Go ahead.
That's why we got rid of Cucurella so quickly.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, Tony. Sorry for cutting you off.
Oh, I was. That was pretty much it. I really wanted to just say that because we were talking about contracts, and I just like it drives me crazy. It's just like, why do I mean, I guess they do it for engagement because people eat anything, but they just like flood my feeds with this nonsense. I'm just like, no, dude, we're not going to sign any kind of Galactico from Real Madrid or Barcelona because they pay them too much money. So we may have had a chance before if we, maybe in the Roman era, and we could have convinced them with regular. But I mean, we don't even have regular Champions League. But even if we do, like we're not. If they're already on a salary, it's just like, hey, would you like to come to us? And we're not quite as big of a club, and we're going to pay you less money. But, at least you get to say you play for us, And that's not a knock on my club. I'm just saying it's just reality. I don't know why we do that, but I love the business that we're doing. I don't know I just love that we were able to talk Rodgers into like, look, I know Arsenal's going to pay you more, but, and I know they're in the Champions League, but it's Arsenal. Come on, bro, your best friend's here, and then we got him. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why that one really means a lot to me. So that's, but I think that's a little more rare. Like players like
I
him,
think part
we
of the
have a
sale.
chance. We have a chance if we're
Yeah,
competing with other clubs who are going to pay more, but I'd be interested to see a day where we're actually able to snatch a world-class player from someone who's paying him way more money than we're willing to, you know, so.
I think that's in the plan.
Listen, I think part of the
forward.
sale to players, one thing is this. It's not like we don't pay well. We pay well, but the salary we offer to players are structured in a manner that you earn what you work
Right.
for.
Yeah.
You earn what you work for. You can't
And I
just
love that,
be
right?
Earning a certain amount. Yeah,
But if you're
exactly. So
already
if
making
the
more,
club, if you
and
do
then
well,
if you're already making more though, and you're at a top club, and we're like, hey, you can make as much, but you gotta work a lot harder. You know, I don't know that guys who are gonna go for that. You know what I mean? But if we can get them before they get there,
All right.
and they're into that, then that, like Rodgers, he's like, okay, it's more money than I'm making now, and I have to earn it, and I can do even better. That's great. But I mean, to take somebody on like, I don't know, 350 grand a week and say, all right, we'll pay you 200, you know, but you got to work. If you work hard enough,
that's usually difficult. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
All right. It's that free agents do that a lot because they also get a sign-on fee.
But that was also
but
in the
that's by
past.
the way.
Well,
I will give.
let's not forget that was in the past as well. It's not new. You know, Real Madrid, Barcelona, they always paid a lot more. Even with Roman, we couldn't get those players, because we couldn't pay that much. It just wasn't possible, because they were on like 700-800K a week.
yeah, that was bananas. Yeah.
The Barcelona players, Real Madrid players. So we couldn't do that before either, to be honest.
Back quickly, address the items we have lined up and see how far we can go with Bobby's request for us to discuss tactics, which I'd say, I mean, left for me, I'd say it'd be for a whole of an entire show actually. Well, because we do that while we pick the lineup, pick our best 11. But let's see what happens. Just give me a few seconds here. I'll be back with you guys on the panel. Let's see. All right, I'll catch up. We have Hakeem. We also want to get his opinion on Enzo Fernández before we move on. But I don't think we're allowing any other person on the panel here. I think we're loaded now. Give me a second. Let me see. Where did we stop? Big up Olua. We addressed that one, and this from Yakan. Well, I've seen that one. I just don't want to get into that one right now because it's off topic a bit. What else do we have? Dante trying to get you to like him. You want to send him flowers? Okay, let's see. I don't blame Enzo. Well. It's on the club. I'm not gonna say one party or the other is at fault because I don't know how much it's asking and all of that. But yeah, when did you start loving Dante like that? Sorry?
You better send me that gold coin as well, Vic.
Yeah, exactly. What helps see a player's perspective is putting yourself in their shoes. Everyone on this panel would leave given Enzo's circumstances. I don't know his circumstances. I don't know it well. I can only speculate, and I'd swear that everyone on the panel here can only speculate. We don't work for the club. We're not his agent. But one thing I want to say quickly, I don't think anybody on the panel right now disagrees that it's work. It's money. Football is what he does for a living, and that's how he earns money to put food on the table for his family. And we've talked about how this wouldn't be the first time we always remind people, irrespective of how you see it, remember it is work, it is business. Usually how we phrase it this way: it is business for all parties involved. And every time you have multiple offers on the table for a new job, you almost always go for the highest paying job. But sometimes factors such as family and the need to move and everything, or culture, could lead to one deciding, you know what, I'm staying where I am at the moment. So nobody on the panel have looked at the Enzo Fernandez situation and went, yeah, you know what? No, it's about money. We all know that. There's nothing wrong in offering Enzo 250k 300 guaranteed. It's not that complicated. I think it's a lot more complicated than you think it is.
But we don't know
in
if
my
that's
opinion.
the case, Vic. You're saying 250.
Yeah,
for
exactly. We
300.
don't even know. Yeah,
What
we
if he
don't
wants
know.
400? What if he wants 400,000, or he thinks he's worth 500,000?
Exactly. We don't know. Yeah. Dante, he sent you 2 gold coins. You asked for it and he sent it to you, but we appreciate it. So Hakeem, quickly, we've been on a one topic for nearly 2 hours. We want to move on quickly, but it's important we allow you. Let's hear your opinion, Hakeem, on Enzo Fernandez. What do you make of his situation? Do you think, as Tony would put it, the ribbon on your response would be letting us know whether he stays or he leaves? We cannot hear you, Hakeem. In case you're speaking, maybe the other can you guys hear him? Because I can't.
No, we can't hear him.
No.
All right, Hakeem, maybe you need to go out and come back in. We can hear you. So we're gonna move on to the next topic. But if you're able to sort out your audio issue, because you're not on mute, would like to hear from you.
Who's this?
All right.
Who is it, Coach? Who are you asking for?
Not you, Bobby. He's not asking for you.
Oh.
He wants to keep you waiting.
Your audio is a little bit choppy, though, Coach. I don't know if everybody sees that, is getting that. Maybe it's me. I don't know. But I can make you out, but just heads up.
System crashing again? We can't hear you.
I don't think he can hear us.
Oh, yeah, he's frozen. Oh, there he goes. A little bit. Got a little bit.
Now, who's the McDonald's guy here?
Well, I guess it's up to us heavy lifters to make the show go on.
Just before Coach comes, just want to add on that money thing. He said that unanimously that no one on the panel thinks that the reason is something else than money. I actually do think that money is not the sole reason or the main reason. For example, I think if we were doing fine on the sporting side, on the pitch, right, in the Champions League, and were on the trajectory to win something big and all, I don't think Enzo would be desperate to leave this club, despite the money being the same or wages being the same. At least not this early. He would have demanded a pay rise or money.
Jay, you're a bit low, the volume.
Can you guys?
Yeah, I agree, Jay. Your volume is a bit low.
Oh.
Yeah, we can. We just started hearing you. Jay is speaking. Once Jay is done speaking, you can come in.
Is my audio low, right?
Your volume is low, Jay.
Can you hear me?
It's in my end. It's not my end. 22 is
It's
high. Go ahead, Jay.
It sounds like you're far away from your mic.
All right, let me fix it, man. This McDonald's situation is getting crazy.
I don't know
When
what.
Coach has a problem, everyone gets a problem.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, EV Mox. That's the problem. Ooh, is this the real David Austin? Hold on, let me check. Let me look at something quickly. Some a breaking news, but I'm gonna check whether that's the real David Austin. Wait, what? 8.4 million followers, and that's 10 hours ago. It says exclusive Victor Osimhen is seriously pushing for a move to Arsenal.
It must be the fake Austin.
What?
I'm checking it again. 8.4
Yeah, there is an
million
imposter.
followers. Is there any Austin It looks like the fake one. I don't know. What am I seeing here?
He
What?
does want out. We know he had a couple of incidents recently, so I think
So I
he's
think
wanting
this
out.
is correct. Is
See,
this? Am I? Let me see. Let me check. What?
that's what's
How many
tricky.
followers does the other David Onston have?
No, it's correct, coach. It's fine. Yeah, it's
Is that
true.
the correct David Onston?
Let me look.
No, there has been no update by the real on stream.
Not
Two
now. It's like
Onston.
yesterday,
So
Jay.
how did the other one? This is the 4 point something million. So that's fake. But how did the fake one get 8 point something million followers?
Because people are dumb. I don't know.
This
Yeah.
one is David Onside
Yeah,
75k.
David
But
Ornstein.
I'm not
the
gonna
real
waste
one
my
has
energy.
4.5
It's a lie.
million
Yeah.
followers.
The Arsenal thing's
Yeah.
probably a lie, but they do want him out. He had a couple of incidents in preseason now, so
Mm.
yeah, there's been some
You know what
problems
makes
there.
those things tricky too is that, like, am I wrong? What was Arsenal linked with Julian Alvarez at one point? Did they want him? Because I think they're looking for a
Yeah,
striker.
Morgan
There
Rogers
were
as
rumors
well.
suggesting
They're
that
not
that
gonna
was
get him.
that was the case. Yeah.
And they're not
Uh,
going to get him.
Vinicius
So,
Jr., Morgan Rogers, yeah, there's a few of them.
yeah, they missed out on some targets. So that's what makes it tricky, though, because I would say there's no way, but I do know that they're in the market for a striker, so I hate it when these fake people push this stuff. But yeah, the real Ornstein has 4.5 million followers, so
There's a lot of mix there, man. I'm not sure what I was looking at, but that's by the way. Yeah, guys, who else was speaking?
I think Akeem's back.
Is the
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Kim is
Jay,
back.
Jay
we
was
can
speaking.
continue on. I really don't have anything to say about this Enzo issue. I just
All right.
want us to just get
Anybody
it
else?
done with it.
Anybody else has anything else? Okay. All right. This is transfer interest in Tosin Adarabioyo. According to Kieran Gill DM, there's interest in Tosin Adarabioyo from a number of Premier League clubs and Benfica. And I've seen subsequent reports that suggest that he's headed to Benfica. I'm not sure whether to believe that or not. But it looks like this the window that he ends up leaving Chelsea. Good luck to him, really. A consummate professional, in my opinion. But I think his time at Chelsea has come to an end. Anybody else? Tosin, should I move on?
Yeah,
All right,
Yeah,
I'm
so
going to move on.
like
we
I
spoke
think
about it earlier a bit,
yeah,
but
let's just
yeah,
move on.
it's a wait and see, I think. Like I said, if someone wants him and they promise him started minutes, he'll probably go. I don't see him going otherwise, to be honest. I think he'll probably stay as a squad player if that does not happen.
If you don't, okay, go ahead,
Yeah.
Hakeem.
I don't think Tosin is meant for teams like Benfica. Like this Benfica and Sporting Lisbon are places more like for players players who are now being like beginners. You understand, like academy players. So I think if he has a team like, because Tosin is not like, he would never going to be like a world class defender. You understand? So like he's just going to be like in between. So he should just get like Fulham, those kind of teams, and then be there. Like these are the type of players that can be legends in teams like Fulham or Nottingham Forest and other small teams in English Premier League. I
The
don't
big
think Benfica is.
the
Coach,
the
can I
big
ask
factor
you?
with go on, Tony.
No, I was just going to say real quick. Let me look this up. Isn't did Fulham's coach Silva go to Benfica?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I was
That's
about
why
to
I
Marcus,
think
mention.
there might be some
Marco
legs to
Silva.
this. That's why, yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I think there might be some legs to that because Tosin played for him at Fulham.
yeah. That's actually
Yeah.
a big factor. He is Marco Silva, I think the Fulham manager. He is actually the reason why Benfica are interested in bringing Tosin. So that theory that Hakim is suggesting about Sporting and Benfica, which is kind of correct, of the type of player they used to hire in the past, but a manager is a very big factor in how a club want to,
Yeah, and they'll want to probably
play.
pay like 2 million for him. That, of course, they want him. Yeah, I,
Yeah.
I don't see that happening, to be honest. We're not selling to Benfica because Benfica will not pay for a player like that. They're not going to pay more than 3-4 million. So unless Tosin really, really maybe wants to go, and they, like you said, he's been a professional, and they might do him that favor. But I don't see Benfica paying any money for him, to be honest. Clubs like that don't pay players like that, to be honest.
Hey, maybe if we're lucky, they'll do what an Italian club does and come in for a loan with no obligation.
Yeah, pretty much. So, um, yeah, find it very difficult to believe that Benfica will sign him, especially what we would value him at, because I can tell you it wouldn't be 5 million.
All right, let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes of the stream. This likes do go a long way. High five to you too. And Bliss family, how much is Chelsea getting from Benfica for Tosin? I'm not sure. Um, I'm not sure, honestly, and I don't want to start gaslighting you. So we move on to the next item we have lined up here. If Bobby is interested in speaking about any particular topic, he knows he can always let us know. So I'm going to change to this particular window. This one here, according to Kieran Gill DM, Chelsea sources say that they value Liam Delap at £50 million plus this summer. The report indicates this valuation is set for the current transfer window. So, good change? Or that aspect doesn't really make any sort of sense for me. But yeah, I think he leaves this window. We don't have to get that much money. I think we'll probably sell him for less than 40, for less than 50. I don't think we'd sell him for less than 40. How much did we pay for him, really? I can't remember. But I'll
30
check
million.
in a bit. So yeah, that's let me look at that fake account again. How many followers he has?
Hey, we could sell him to that Malaysian
I
Okay,
think we
club.
paid for like
8.4k
30 million.
8.4k followers, not zero point 0.5 million. Go ahead. You were saying something.
Oh no, I just said maybe we could sell him to that Malaysian club because he likes WWE style moves. Maybe
You
they
think
can
they're
get
gonna?
20
You think they're gonna like him?
Yeah, he's right up
No,
their
but I
alley.
mean, no, listen, when it comes to the issue of his fighting, I don't have issues of how he is. That is him, like that. But like the performance that I have issues with. Like we used to have players like Diego Costa in our team. Like, come
Yeah,
on, I think people are just overreacting when it comes to his reaction. We have players like Diego Costa in our team
there's a
before,
difference
but
there
it's
though,
just
like
like his
right,
performance.
like
But when it comes to his,
Yeah, big difference.
like Diego Costa wasn't breaking people's noses
yeah,
with his elbows. There is an art to the dark arts, and Costa was a master at
man,
it. Liam's just
listen.
coming out to fight.
when
Go
you
ahead.
when,
Who
when
is
you are a
speaking?
defender, when you are a defender and you know you are going to play with, I'm the one speaking. I mean, when you are a defender and then you have like a match against Chelsea tomorrow, and you know you are going to face a player like Diego Costa, you know what you are coming against to. You know how you have to prepare yourself. You know he's going to antagonize you. You know he's going to pull all the tricks from the book. You you know he's going to be on your neck. He's going to spit on you. He's going to do the work. So come on, like what Diego Costa did in Chelsea, he's not doing half of it. He's not doing half of it. The only issue that I
Exactly.
have
Yeah. Yeah.
with him is his performance. But apart from his performance, that is who he is. Like we have different you like it's not mock. This is football, it's emotion. And these are main games. And now it's more like players are so soft that when you touch them, it's more like they are complaining. Before they used to throw blows and we enjoyed it.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else? Move on to the next one.
Well, I would just say, like, even if if he was capable of giving a good goal return, I don't know how much that's worth if he's not able to do it because he's suspended from the number of cards he's getting. He's got to be able to stay on the pitch, even if he was scoring well. I'm not saying he's been sent off a lot, but he is a card magnet. So even if that's his way of playing the dark arts, and it's a little more brutal than Costa, and he wants to be a little more blatant with it, like I mean,
Yeah,
He
let's not
doesn't. He
forget he
doesn't
is
know how to
young.
be discreet enough with it. I mean, you know, he's just coming out there ready for rugby. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
He
bananas.
is young, Tony. He's 23 years of age, 24. Costa only, hit the scene quite late in his career as well. So he is young. So he's got a lot to learn in that sense,
Yeah,
playing
we
that
have a
way.
lot of young guys that don't come out there trying to RKO our opponents. So
No, but that's his style, and that's what's made him successful up until now. He did the same at Ipswich, and he was a key player for them because that's how he approached it.
I'm
Defenders
okay
don't
with
like
that.
playing against players like him.
I mean,
It,
I want to ask, did you guys watch Carvalho? Did you guys watch Essien? Did you guys watch
yeah, yeah,
those,
Of
exactly. Yeah,
like,
they were
course.
much worse. Yes.
No,
yeah,
the
they were
laps,
much worse.
the laps application on the pitch, that aggressive aspect of his game, not an issue for me.
Not an
Yeah.
issue for
Yeah,
me either.
for me, I've
No.
never had issue about it. It's just that people are just complaining. Like, let's talk about his performance. His performance is bad. He's shit. But for me, he like his way of playing, how he is, I've never had issues with it. I like players like that. Assuming if he's like
Mhm.
that and he's performing good, no one is going to talk about it. People are going to love it. They're going to be like, yeah,
Yeah, they
this is
would.
who he is.
Especially English
They
fans,
would have,
they love that type of stuff. Yep. Especially, yeah.
That's
yeah.
possible. I think it's a mentality thing too, though, right? And I do believe there are rumors that maybe he knows he's going because, like they were saying during preseason, his body language, he just looked kind of checked out, like he went. But even before that, like all last year, it's just like half the time. I don't know, man. It's like not only was he not performing, like it's like all he was looking to do was
He
just
was
get out
trying
there
too
and
hard,
fuck people
Tony.
up.
He was
Yeah.
trying very hard, and he was pushing the limits. And when you get out of your comfort zone like that, when you're trying way too hard, that's what you see usually. He's just trying really hard to impress. He's a very, very smart guy off the field as well. He's one of those intellectual guys that's extremely smart. Like I think he's got the highest IQ, like in the whole Chelsea team. He's very smart off the field. So when you mix that with that and you try a bit too hard on the field, you get what we saw there. I have no doubt he'll be later on, a couple of years, maybe after later on in his career, he's going to be very good. But yeah, he hasn't learned to actually, control it properly yet for now.
So
All right.
Dante, if you
But
if you marry those two things together, do you think he's just inside his head too much, like to be that
Yes,
intelligent, but to try that hard? Maybe he's just over analyzing it, and that's why he's just
correct.
overdoing it because he's in his own head too much. Maybe.
Yep, yep. And that's why I said because he's a very smart guy as well. And when you put those together and you try very hard,
Yeah.
you overthink things and you try too hard, and that's exactly because you see when he shoots as well, he's already thinking about it, but he's shooting recklessly, not really. His brain's not matching to what he's wanting to do. To be honest, if you go back to Ipswich, every shot you see he took was perfectly hit, power straight. Look at it, like the penalties he took, but which he was good to see that you saw what a shot he has, but he hasn't been able to do it when he's actually moving, when there's moving parts around him, etc. Because he's just trying too hard and overthinking things, and it's just not marrying up at the moment.
All right, let me catch up here. Just 1 second. Big up to you too, Nipun. Always nice to see you. Nipun thinks the English are getting too much hate. I'm not sure how to interpret that, but I'm sorry. But Nipun says that sometimes I feel there are certain Chelsea fans are backing Enzo just to spite the English and the English national team. I don't know. I'm not sure how else to see that, but yeah. It's your opinion there, and I respect that. Liam has zero talent. Let's just stop it. He is a welder. Okay, thank you for that. You are entitled to your opinion. All right, let's go back here. Where's the
Yeah, he's a
presentation?
professional. Yeah, playing for a big club, earning
Yeah,
100 grand a week. Yeah, he's zero talent. Yeah.
it hasn't really worked out, but yeah, I don't. He might in the future
for me,
improve.
about Liam, what
He
I
Go
says he
ahead.
believe
has
is
zero
that when you
talent
watch
because
him, like you
that's
could tell
that's
he's
not
weak.
true. Definitely.
Go
Like,
ahead.
like, like when you watch him, like when you see his physique, I think he's one of the players in our team that have like a really like a athletic physique. everything, like his calves, his arms, it's like, he looks like really athletic. So which means like he's really taking good care of his body. So like when you have players like that, like, and they have a little bit, like they can do like a um like, let's say 40% of, or even 50% of what you're asking them to do, like they're going to go a long way, because they don't have outside drama. But I think in 2 years or 3 years, that is when he's going to hit the ground, because he lacks a lot. There's a whole lot of things that he has to improve. I mean, a whole lot. His decision
He still
making
comes across
is
as too raw. That I agree with.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Like, at his age, it shouldn't be raw. Like, there's a whole lot that he has to improve with. But for me, I think, like, he has to go to Chelsea. He has to leave Chelsea and go to like small other teams, and then, because right now the striker position is like, we don't have strikers like, we don't have much strikers. The striker position is done. Like, it's crap. So like, when at least if he's able to score like even 15 goals in a season in small team or something, like, he's going to go to a big club. I think he's going to in future, like players like Solanke. Come on, Solanke was in Chelsea, he was in Liverpool. Now you see, it's like that.
Yeah, and I think I just want to say with Delap though, I think we would all agree, maybe not some of the people in the comments, but I think if we took a hard look, we would all say, man, he's got the physique, the natural number 9 is kind of almost going extinct. Maybe there's a little bit of a resurgence happening in academies now around Europe. So he has that distinct, unique, old school striker profile. And I think we see that he has a lot of potential. I mean, we saw what he did at Ipswich. The problem is, some guys, if they take the step up at the right time, right, they hit that next level, and they're like, okay, I'm ready for this. You know what I mean? Some guys take that step up and they regress for a myriad of different reasons. It's chemistry, right? It's just it's different individuals with different personalities in different environments with different skill sets. You're going to get a different reaction every time, and he has regressed. So to save his career, yeah, he needs to go to either a mid-table club, or maybe go back to even a championship club fighting to make the Premier League again, and just get minutes and play week in and week out where there's not that pressure, and then maybe try it again in a couple of years. Here's the bottom line, right? Potential. I think we all would agree that's why he's going. Like, we just don't have time for it now, right? Like, we got him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It hasn't worked
Yeah,
out.
exactly what you said. I can give an
It was a
example of
calculated risk
exactly what you
because
said.
30 million,
Like uh, like
you know,
like Jamie Vardy and Harry Kane. Like what you said is like exactly what you is exactly
exactly, yeah.
example of
Oh, wow.
Jamie Vardy and Harry Kane.
Yeah,
I
it is
don't.
what it is.
I don't
I
think.
think for me, yeah, go ahead.
I don't think that the step up thing from a small to. Can you hear me?
You're breaking up.
We can hear you. It breaks up.
I was saying that I don't think that the step up thing from a small club to a big club is predominantly the main reason for his miseries. I just think that I don't think he's a horrible player. I think he has been horrible for Chelsea for sure, but I think he's very one-dimensional and quite a system-specific player. You will see him thrive in one particular system that we used to see.
Transitional team.
Yeah, more of a transitional player. You will see him thrive under certain conditions. He's just not, your adjustment type of player. He cannot just be good for every team, especially for big teams who most often than not, play the positional football. So I think it's more about system. I won't be surprised that if he goes to a smaller team who plays, the counter-attacking type of football, and he will thrive again.
I think it'd be accurate to say he was just an opportunistic signing for us. I refuse to agree that Maresca said, "Yeah, get me that to be my backup number 9, or maybe the person to compete with Jackson on or whoever." But his numbers at Ipswich weren't that bad.
Well, we had João Pedro already.
His conversion rate. Yeah, his conversion rate was better than that of Jackson. But again, moving it to the way you can say, switching clubs changes everything. Enzo Maresca was never a manager known to, if you understand his approach, it was going to mean that whenever he's on the pitch, we have to play differently to get the best out of him. He wasn't. It was never that acquisition that you say gets to play week in week out. No, he was just an opportunistic signing because Ipswich got relegated. For me, I think clearly it hasn't worked. So the next option, sell him, which was always going to be the case in my opinion. Go ahead if you were saying something, Dante.
Yeah, and you're always going to get your money back for a player like that because his potential is still very high, and he's English, and a lot of teams value that type of striker, that prototypical old school sort of striker, especially championship teams coming up, transitional teams like Jay said. So there's always a market for a striker. Strikers always cost more anyway, so you're not going to lose money on him. So yeah, look, we took a risk, but we already had João Pedro, we had Jackson. We took a risk. It didn't work out, but it doesn't mean I think he will be good. Just like some of those players we mentioned, it took them up till they were like 26 to start really firing and getting really good. Some players develop at different rates. Some, like Tony said, some they join a big club, circumstances, coach that wanted you, then the other leaves, and then all sorts of things. His injury, let's not forget, he was injured quite a bit as well, so that interrupted. But yeah, unfortunately, he hasn't taken his chance when he got it at the end of the season. And in a big club, he knows that. He knows he'll need to move. But it's not like it wasn't worth it for him as well. Trust me, it was still very much worth it because he got a big pay rise and, a lot of money from it as well.
And a lot of exposure in
exposure, yeah.
You wouldn't have been in.
Yeah, even though he hasn't done well, I can guarantee you there'll be clubs lining up to still get him.
Yeah.
And
I do like what Jay said though too. There is merit to that. Like I would marry it to what we said, but Delap was this guy that like he kind of dragged the rest of the team up the pitch, right? So if you're breaking on the counter like a lot, you know what I mean, and transition like you said, that's his whole game. He's like, hey, I'll push forward and drag everybody with us on the break, and that's where he excelled. And I mean, not only did Maresca not do that, but like Xavi really doesn't do that either. We have defined systems here, and
Maresca used it sometimes against the good teams. He would do that. He would use that against the good teams like PSG.
Well, he did it against PSG. Yep, he sure did.
Those type of teams we do it. Yes, against teams that
whenever there are spaces in behind for him to exploit.
Right.
Yeah.
And when they come up high, he would do that. But yeah, like that's the game. And who's to say he can't develop into a system play like a number 9? You know what I mean? Like
he was always going to struggle the first 6 months.
He seems to thrive.
Just like Neto did, Tony. Neto struggled the first 6 months when he came because he came from a team that played that way as well, and he quite struggled. But then he hit the ground right after that. He got straight into it. It took him a long time, nearly 5-6 months, for Neto to get going as well.
Go ahead, Tony. If you have something else to say, so we can go knock out all those items we have lined up.
No, I'm good.
All right. Thank you for that. So Liam has 0 talent. Okay, that's your opinion, and I disagree with that. To be clear, Delap is a must-have kind of a player who's a menace to the opposition, creating panic in them, making it easier for his colleagues to score. I think that's an excellent point of there, but that's not going to be all the time. I think there's one game he proved that he got hat-trick of assists because they were on him and he was able to shield the ball effectively and set up his teammates. Why is he worth 15 million? I honestly don't know, because he's English, more importantly. That makes a player expensive, and the market is inflated too. Scammed Chelsea that why is there talent? Okay, all right. I'm going to move on to that, and then we're going to start addressing the items we have lined up. Neto, the struggle you couldn't see. He had the basics. The lab is just I've learned the type of person you are. You're capable of saying anything just to defend your opinion. But that's fine. let's see what else we have here. Let's knock them out. Pedro Neto, we've talked about him. This is according to Nizaki Kinsella, 4 Premier League clubs have shown interest in Pedro Neto. Manchester City is reportedly among the clubs interested in him. That's the one that I've heard as the most serious. The Mazio reports new detail in Chelsea's negotiations with Napoli with regards to the future of Benoit Badiashile. So it says, according to Blue Footy, that's Vince, DiMaggio is reporting details that differ from Il Napolista regarding ongoing negotiations between Napoli and Chelsea Football Club. He says that the report claims that a loan fee of 3 million euros has been agreed alongside a 20 million option to buy. However, Chelsea are now reportedly asking for more in bonuses. As it stands, negotiations continue between the two clubs. I'm not sure what else to say about that. Here's the thing, the only thing you and I are going to start fighting is to try to force me to believe that whatever you're saying is the truth. Irrespective of what you say there, still your opinion. Except if you back them up with numbers, then it becomes the truth or fact. Your opinion is not the truth. Might end up maybe turning out to be the truth, but yeah. But Shanks, nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. I do hope you're doing well. I'm in a hurry now so that we can round off so I can go do something else. Anybody want to speak on Badiashile, possibly move into Napoli, or should we move on?
I would just say real quick, I wish it was a obligation to buy, but I think that we're a great selling club, right? I think everybody knows that, but the unfortunate thing is, we're trying to avoid having a bomb squad, and unfortunately, I think in doing that, we may be, if we have a lack of suitors, we may be forced to take these options. So it's unfortunate.
Okay,
Italian
Kenya
teams are the only
Revolutionary.
teams
Okay,
that
you
if they want to buy your
have
player,
one. Go ahead, Hakim.
I said Italian teams are the only teams that if they want to buy your player, if they need your player, it's more like they are doing you a favor.
Which you can argue to some extent that's the case. We're desperate to get rid of, not maybe to move these players on, even get some money, send them out on loan, get some money. It will help to balance the books. And in all honesty, I'd say we're definitely desperate. We don't need to, it doesn't have to be pronounced. Anybody, clubs that are interested in our players, they can sense that. It's there. The situation screams desperation.
He's got 4 years to go on his contract, so it's not like he's to 2030. So, he's still contracted for quite a bit, and his salary is 4 million euros per season. So,
not a lot, but it's still some money if we can get.
Well,
that
getting
off the
3
books.
million for a loan, and then you're paying for. They're going to pay his salary. That's all of a sudden that's 7 million off his price. So balancing the books as well. So that's very important as well. So, and if he does well, they probably will buy him for around that price. So hopefully he does well and they buy him. If they don't, he comes back, probably goes on loan again, and his value goes down even more, and he basically comes to zero, and then that's it. It's pretty much profit after that. So yeah, they're going to loan him out for the next 2 years. If he doesn't get bought, they're going to keep loaning him out for the next 2 years.
My hope is that he does do well over there, because he's going to have a lot more space to operate in, and maybe he can get his confidence back.
Yeah, and he should suit their style as well, the way Napoli play. Yeah, I think he'll do okay there. It's just if he can keep fit, that is the only thing with him.
Yeah. All right, Nipun, it's tomorrow. We stream on daily basis now, except on Sundays and Saturdays, not guaranteed. I take the kiddos for swimming on Saturdays. And Sundays, if my wife is saying, if she says we're definitely going to church on any particular day, then it must happen. And I think I'm in trouble for the next few
When's
weeks.
the last
because
time you went to church, Coach? Tell me the truth. Come
The
on.
last 3 Sundays I went to church, and I'm in trouble now
Wow.
because the kids are already started to prepare for their the wine and bread thing. What is it called again?
Oh, okay. Yep. Yep.
I
Yep.
don't want to hear my wife not knowing what it's called for
Coach, it's
communion.
communion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Communion. Pretend that you knew the answer, okay? Go
It
and
shows
press
how much
her.
attention he pays when he
Go and
does
press
that.
her and say,
Holy
hey, ask me what that
Tolika.
thing is with the wine and bread again. I know the answer. Don't tell her you got it from
Yeah.
us.
I'm in the
That's
middle
that's
of
when
a
he
show,
prepares his shows when
and
he
my
goes there.
focus is the show, not
Exactly.
communion. Here's the,
Oh,
the
man.
one. I'm sorry, the wine and bread thing. I'm so
Oh, man.
sorry. All
I feel
right.
like atheists know that, Coach.
They know, but that's the reason why it's not my thing. I'm a Pentecostal. My wife is Catholic, and the closest we've been to is Catholic. And so, but anyway, that's why.
Oh,
Anyway, Messi has better stats than Ronaldo, but who is a better footballer? It depends on who you ask. That's a very bad example. It depends on who you ask. And for me, I'm choosing Messi over Ronaldo anytime, any day.
No,
Why?
Ronaldinho, coach.
I say
Ronaldinho.
Ronaldinho.
Okay, Ronaldinho. Even between both, it depends on who you ask.
Different
And I'd
players.
still choose Messi over Ronaldinho.
I mean,
Honestly.
Maybe
Yeah,
not
it depends on who you
the
ask.
best, but
Yeah, and if you say Messi
he
and
does more
Ronaldo,
things, right?
Messi anytime, any day, because Ronaldo, the way I see them, Ronaldo more about power, Messi more about finesse.
yep. Yeah.
But we're not
Different
here to talk
players.
about, so that's good example, something point to reference in my opinion. I used to pray for times like this, sell NATO and the lab next alongside Tosin and Gittins, and I think probably 50% of those players will still be here. And Mudrik to just sell him to Saudi Arabia. I don't think he would want to go to Saudi Arabia. Really, I would take Zhao back from Saudi. I would take Zhao Felix from Saudi too. I love them. That's one of the only things. One of the only things that when I look back, I say Maresca didn't do well in that aspect. But that's by the way. Tony, were you saying something?
Well, playing with 2 10s helps. It would have been if we played with 2 10s, he probably still would have been here.
But still, at the time, there was an opportunity for Maresca to create a healthy competition between him and what's his name, Cole Palmer. And he actually has more experience than Cole Palmer.
Yeah, but come on, coach.
A fine
Are
creator
you really
too.
saying you would have benched Palmer for Joao
Not
Felix?
benching, not benching. Here's where Maresca ruined it. And I think this will be the 1,000th time you're hearing me say this, right?
I know what I'm doing.
He, during a presser, said clearly, blatantly, that the reason Zhao wasn't playing was because of Cole Palmer. That's poor man management in my opinion. And if I was Zhao, I'd start pushing to leave too. But that's by the way, were you saying something, Tony?
Oh, I was just gonna say that the comment about I don't know. I have a little bit of a soft spot for Neto, so I'm just gonna out myself as maybe I'm slightly biased. But look, I saw what everyone else saw. He's very hot. He's very cold. Everybody's tired of his inconsistency. But I actually can't help but wonder. And yeah, we have coverage, but I can't help but wonder if there's a place for Neto even as a wingback in this system. I feel like you guys have probably talked about that before. Other
Yeah.
people have talked about it. I think he has a profile where even though he's a winger, he has the skill set and the profile to do what Alonso needs as a wing back. And I am not saying that that's he's a shoe in for that, and that's nailed on. And might he still go? Sure. But if he stays, I don't have a problem with it because I'm okay to give him one season to see how he does in this system. Because, yeah, we have Chavaria and we have Palestra now. And, we haven't even
Brenda.
seen Chavaria kick a football yet, I know. Palestra looks like he's just going to murder it for us, which makes me really happy. But, I mean, come on. If you have a guy that could play on either side, or be a winger. I mean, he's that kind of player that Alonso needs, right? Like just very versatile. Like, hey, I can plug you in here. Oh, I can't use you there. I can use you there. And if he sticks around and he's good at that, guess what? Hopefully, we'll be back in Europe next year, and we will need that depth. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's nothing wrong with a guy that can play on either side, pushing you on both wing back sides to be better. And so I don't know if we sell him and we get good value for him, great. I do think there's some possible value to be had there if he sticks around. I wouldn't mind it one bit. I think I don't know. I think he would do well in this system, but I'm actually kind of eager to see that if he sticks around, like how he does as a wing back for.
Tony, quick
So when
question.
he his first game back, I thought he looked.
Which player are you talking about?
Neto.
Neto, quick question. Did you
Oh, okay.
how did he play under Rossinha as a wing back? Did you see the games he played?
No, man, it was hard for me to watch some of those matches with Rossini. I usually just watched highlights because it was that cringy.
Anyway, so when Rossinha did change, he put him as a wing back, and he struggled pretty bad. He didn't score.
Yeah,
assists.
but then this is a different system.
Come on, you're talking about Rafinha. Like, come on.
This is a different system, but also
It's not a
I'm
different
saying,
system. No,
not
it's
that it's a
wing
lot.
back.
Not that it's a lot to go on. Well, yeah, but he has different tactics with these wing backs than Rossini or whatever. But I mean, not that it's a lot to go on, but him doing that for Alonso in his first preseason came back. Maybe it's nothing, but he looked.
Thank you. 24 minutes into the game, and PSG is already one. It's already one goal up. Super Cup final.
Oh, is that on? No.
Yeah,
Who's up?
it's on already. I think we should call it a day so that we can go watch
Wrap
it
it up,
too. I
yeah.
don't know why did I forget.
Anyway, yeah. So he looked kind of good there. So I'm intrigued enough to see how he does as a wing back in this system. So we'll see.
Yeah, and Kenya Revolutionary, I'm going to tell you this again. Your opinion isn't the truth. Back it up with numbers. Convince me. And if I look at the numbers and if they if they justify your argument, then yes, you cannot.
You want me to build some spider graphs
I
for
think
us? And we'll see.
Yeah. Send him some DMs.
I think you should. But I don't like when people are like that. They just want you to take their opinions. We don't
Got some
operate like.
radar graphs for you, bro. You want to
Yeah, we don't operate like that here, Kenya Revolutionary. You have to come onto the panel, show numbers that prove your argument is the truth, and we'll go by it. Big up to you too, Lifo. My unpopular opinion, I think Kenda will play more games than Esteval. By next season, he will be loaned out. I think both will play a huge path. Both can actually start at the same time. Kenda is capable of playing on either flanks. Same with Esteval. Kenda can also operate as a wing back, which he played for Sporting under Amorim mainly.
And the 10.
And the 10 too. He can actually operate as a 10 too. So I don't know this guy, Dante. I think we're gonna have you talk about him, then we'll call it a day. I really wanted to watch this game. I'm not sure why I'm missing it right now. This reads, Chelsea inquire about Monaco's Lamine Camara, not all there. According to Seb Nonda, Chelsea have joined the race for Monaco's central midfielder Lamine Camara. The Blues have inquired about the Senegalese star. I don't know him.
I know him pretty well. Tobago knows him pretty well as well. He went box to box.
You both watch the French league a lot.
Yeah. Because we watched Strasbourg a lot, and I've watched quite a bit of him. He stood out. If you look at his highlights, he's had some big moments. But he's a box to box central midfielder, full of running. Scores goals, gets in the box. Very good young player. Looking for that next move. That's pretty much what's on the cards. And we'll see where he goes. If we've entered the race, maybe, I don't know if it's not from a big journalist saying that. It's just just the journalist there. So I wouldn't be surprised because he is very dynamic. It's a dynamic central midfielder, box to box basically. Does everything.
All
Yeah,
right,
I mean,
okay, let's see. I'll do my research on him. Go ahead.
I'm down because we have. I mean, especially we have such a prestigious track record with transfers from Monaco, so I'm down. Let's see.
Defenders only, Tony.
Hey, will you forget about Bakayoko, man? Come on,
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, okay.
killed it
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah, and then we went for another two. Look
He
how
probably should
his
have been a
work.
defender, but okay,
Yeah,
not a
where
midfielder,
did we
yeah.
get Falcao from? That he stained at Chelsea. Where did we get
Yeah,
him
yeah,
from?
yeah. He came from there too. Yeah.
Monaco too. All right. All right. Anybody else with anything else? Let's call it. I want to go watch that game. That the what's it called? The Aston Villa Paris Saint Germain Super Cup. Anybody
I
else?
was just saying we need to have another stream when we come back about tactics and stuff like that.
I think tomorrow. I think that would be a whole new show because that's what I
He's on
was
his
trying to
way,
explain.
coach. He's
Yeah.
on his way to talk about it now. He's coming.
I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run, and in 25 minutes it's a bit time to go get the boys from school too. So I want to say thank you to all our panelists. We had our senior panelist Bobby here on the panel, and my boy and Tony in the house. Tony, always nice to have you. Hakeem also was with us, but I think he's gone out now. And we have Jay, the McDonald's guy. I love it. And then Dante, the captain of the community, Constantine Dante. I appreciate you. And to all of you in the chat, Kenya Revolutionary, Bobby also, just stay where you are. Don't come back. We're rounding off. Shanks, always nice to have you around. Vic was also here. And Vic, thank you for all the gold coins. Nipun Sharma was also here. Who else was here? Okay, if I miss your name, apologies, I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all and cheers.
Cheers, guys. Take care.
Cheers.
From the bridge to the stand, I carry that crest in my hand. Rain on my shoulders, still I stand. Tell me who wears it like we can. Mud on the boots, heart of gold. Those stories living in the cold. Every name that the walls still hold. I was born for this, I was told. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. When the pressure comes down hard, we don't flinch, we play our part. Every scar on the back says more than 1,000 songs before. From the first whistle to the last, we remember where we came from fast. No throne, no crown, no borrowed fame, just a city calling out that name. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. Let the whole ground shake, let the whole world know. We don't chase a moment, we are the home. Hands up high
From the bridge to the stand, I carry that crest in my hand. Rain on my shoulders, still I stand. Tell me who wears it like we can. Mud on the boots, heart of gold. Old stories, living in the cold. Every name that the walls still hold. I was born for this, I was told. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. When the pressure comes down hard, we don't flinch, we play our part. Every scar on the back says more than 1,000 songs before. From the first whistle to the last, we remember where we came from fast. No throne, no crown, no borrowed fame. Just a city calling out that name. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. Let the whole ground shake, let the whole world know we don't chase a moment, we are the hope. Hands up high, voice up loud, same old pride, same crowd. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. Blue till the end, blue till the end. Loyalty stay, even through the storm. From the bridge to the stand, I carry that crest in my hand. Rain on my shoulders, still I stand. Tell me who wears it like we can. Mud on the boots, heart of gold. Old stories, living in the cold. Every name that the walls still hold. I was born for this,